Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Perillo, and I have a producer. I didn't know I had a... This is great. I could always use a producer. Thank you, Jedi. No, I don't have a producer. It's just me. So Jedi comes in here. Dad, I'm like, what? Because I was getting something set. She said, it's 0. I'm like, oh, thank you. I have a Jedi. That's a good job to have. People pay good money for good producers. So we'll start you young. We'll start you early. Thank you. Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Perillo. And the reason I was distracted, because I was, for whatever it's worth, watching the countdown. Good evening to everybody here, including Rise of the Podcast. Shout out to Rise of the Podcast. Thank you so much for that auto shout out, Future the Clown. You don't see, Jedi was just off camera. Hey, Krillin, good to see you as well. Zangers, you too. And it's the XY Pat. Is that like, it's Pat? Is that the Pat? Is that what I'm thinking of from way back in the day? Hey, Breaking Oz and Banana King and everybody. The reason I was distracted is because Rise of the Podcast said they were here specifically for Lego. Because I said yesterday when they started following Rise of the Podcast and I'll get it. It'll come to me. Oh, God. There's another handle. What's her handle? I got to get used to these handles. They're new handles for me. Anyway, I said come back tomorrow, and I'll do a tour of the Lego area that we got some Lego set up. I mean, we got Lego everywhere. Lady Burrito. That was it. Thank you. So I was like, all right, well, let me grab, or let me get the ninja thing going here. So I've got the ninja thing going. So we'll take a tour here before too long. So I will do the tour. I promise. I will absolutely do the tour. Now, while I have everyone here, so let me start out saying tomorrow I am going to be giving away no filaments. I have the purple out, and the reason why is because I have well, for the lack of a better word, a gift box that I need to build for someone who sent Jedi a wide array of stuff. And so I asked their favorite color, and they said purple. I'm like, so I'm going to print up some purple stuff. And I've got this printed solid, but I also have like a glittery purple, like a Filament 1. So I'm going to be doing purple for the next little while, just to put a few, different Star Wars trinkets together for them that I think they'll enjoy. Hey, Darth Gollum, good to see you. Guess we can wait a little bit. Okay, Banana King, we will wait a little bit. And do we know if Lady Burrito is coming? Tomorrow, and I have it installed, and I have an account. I haven't set it up. C. Sam Fisher says she's on her way. Sorry, C. Sam Fisher 7. Don't know if that's to be confused with C. Sam Fisher, because it's another user account. Tomorrow, I'm going to attempt to play Star Wars The Old Republic, SOTOR, for the first time. And at some point tomorrow evening, Friday, we're giving away a BioWare Studio Edition Star Wars The Old Republic. So, like, this thing right here. Oh, they are both you. Okay, fair enough. Your favorite Star Wars... I'm your favorite.
Mitsuo Level just resubscribed for 2 months. My favorite Star Wars streamer.
That warms my heart. I needed to get my headset in. I've been forgetting it. Where's my producer? My producer needs to remind me I need to get my headset in. So giving away that gift box, I installed and set up SOTOR, but it's gonna be different. The way I'm gonna have to manage tomorrow's stream, because I have some pre-production to do on my end to make sure that the game, that I can capture the game display behind me and a different camera angle. Like, it's gonna be a little nuts tomorrow. I must say, it will be very nuts tomorrow. Because my biggest strain and stress is whether or not I can actually get the SOTOR game working. Thank you so much, Mitsuo Level, for saying, number one, that I'm your favorite Star Wars streamer. It means a lot to me. Second, thank you so much for subscribing with Amazon Prime. I appreciate you using your Prime subscription on me. Glad to see Lady Burrito is here. I'll do the tour here of the room, the room where some Lego is set up, and of course Star Wars stuff as well. We'll do that in just a second. But first, I don't know if Kurt, I may be alone. I don't know if I have any mods with me right now. And the reason why is because I got a few things to show. What's that? Oh, we got a new follower. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. That's a great handle. Starbuck Tech. I assume, like, oh, Kurt just sat down. Starbuck Tech. Not to be confused with Starbucks. Just Starbuck. There is a difference. Because I'm Sammy the Snake, and I shape like the letter S. Oh, yes. Wasn't that a Sesame Street? Sammy the Snake. I got a few Star Wars things to showcase. Just checking, because I get to open one. The other one stays in the box. You have to, like, check so well, because it's easy to miss, a crunched corner. It's more stressful when you're in the store and you see something. So this one's got a little ding there. This one does not. So this here. Starbuck Tech says there is Starbuck. It's my last name and I work in tech. Dude, I wish my name was Starbuck. And I know you probably think the opposite, but dude, try being Perillo. And I bet how many times, if you had a nickel for every time someone said Starbucks, you'd be a billionaire, right? Starbuck Tech, I bet. Let me just say, I'm going to say, dude, I wish it was my name. And I'm pretty sure careful what you wish for, and you always want what you can't have. That is something that I tell Jedi all the time. You always want what you can't have. That or Battlestar Galactica reference. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty damn cool. Perillo? No one references anything Perillo. They just know how to misspell it. All right, here we go. We've got some stuff to showcase before we do a tour of the Lego area, or one of the Lego areas. Although another Lego area we have needs to be kind of cleaned up. Not that there would be much to showcase anyway, but I've got a stack over here that I try to keep organized because I'm trying to get through one of these Black Series a day. And they pile up, especially when I get the haul. But this is a new Black Series Shore Trooper, carbonized, Target exclusive. Is it in focus? There we go. Now it's in focus. There you go. There you go, Kurt. That's a better shot for you. You're here? You made it? All right, Mustang. I love the fact... I gotta say, we get a lot of raids, but I love the raids where you all come back. I really do. Kurt, did you get that shot? I'm asking before I move on too far. I gotta check that for a second. Found this. Wee, thank you. I don't know. Kurt, you might remember. I can't remember if I already had showcased one of these. So Ross often sells kitchen goods. Here's a Darth Vader mitt. I've skipped a few of the non-Vader mitts, but I'm like, okay, well, even if we get a duplicate, you could always use an extra Vader mitt. And a trivet / pot holder that's got Vader on it. But it's, since I'm all about the Vader collection. Then this is not important. This is like a 3D printing, like fix 'em up kit. Fix 'em kit. You've heard of fix 'em dude. This is fix 'em kit. You got enough Star Wars mitts and mats to clean the whole PNW. I do. The entire Pacific Nerd West. So now, Walmart also has exclusives. They sent these battered cards, like these figures on battered cards. Let me get in focus there. I have to back up, otherwise these things are out of focus. But there's Luminara Unduli. This is a vintage collection. So these are exclusives. These are Walmart exclusives. Luminara. There's also a if I move this slightly out of the way, there is, let me make sure it's in focus and not me. There we go. I got to back up a bit. Battle droid. This battle droid doesn't look any different from the previous one, apart from a different paint application. Not a lot like the Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars. Like I said, these are from Walmart, and our Walmarts suck here. So I have to pre-order everything. And look at the condition of this card is catastrophic, dude. Like, Walmart went and they shoved it in an envelope. I mean, they don't care. They just don't, and I'm not the only collector to complain about this. Paying good money for just these figures to be treated like trash. It's annoying as hell is what it is. Also have, and I gotta like go through and make sure I'm getting the good card, or the bad cards, the worst cards to open. Make sure it's in focus there. This is an ARC Trooper. These are styled like, these are vintage collections, so they are scaled at a 4-inch, 3.75-inch scale. So if anybody here, if any of you live near a Walmart, let me know, because they often get Star Wars things throughout the store, whether it's seasonal stuff or like toys that I can't easily find here and I have to order online. But the fact, well, like I don't have a good carded Luminara, so I'm not sure if I can just send back one or if I have to send back all 4, which I'd be nervous about doing because I'd want to make sure I hold on to one. It's a gamble with Walmart. So then the other exclusive, not to be confused with Luminara, but Barra Sophie. So Barris would be, and let me make sure, hang on just a second, Kurt. I'm gonna get framed here. All right, there you go, Kurt. This is Barra Sophie. I know, oh, it's green? Yeah, she's green. Just like Luminara and Dooley, but different species. Completely different species. The animated Clone Wars. So yeah, I'm very happy to have these today. So we'll be getting through opening probably like one of those a day or so over the next little while. Move that out of the way. Okay, now, as I promised, we are going to do a, oh, do I need to like toggle that on? I do. No, it should be on. There we go. Okay, so it's black. I had to make sure it was pure black. Oh wait, sorry. It went through. You've got the printer going there. Let me zoom in a tiny bit. Get it centered. Move the filament off. Got a lot of moving parts around here. It's black down there. That's right. Lady Burrito knows. Barris did my girl dirty. She did. I'm telling you. I would love, in the Ahsoka series, I would love to see Barra Sophie. I would love to see redemption. How did last night's Vader turn out? I don't think it turned out well. And I had to reprint. And then this one, the second one I did, turned out better in some respects, but I had a different issue with it, the highlight yellow Vader. I think this is the last thing I was printing out last night, right? The Vader that was at an angle. Pretty sure that's what I went to bed with. So it came together okay, except I wasn't really happy with an area in the helmet, so I'm still trying to optimize the supports back here, because otherwise it gets a little crunchy. But this is passable. There's nothing inherently wrong with the Vader that I printed here. It's just that I would like to possibly do this again, just to see if I can make it a little better this next time, or at least attempt to. Otherwise, apart from that, this is passable. It's a workable Vader. The helmet works. It's just that it did not quite fill in the way that I wanted to. It's happened before, and I guess it sometimes depends on the filament. But for the most part, I'd say it's a success. It's a successful print. It stands well enough on its own, right? Stand it up. It's fine. I had one other. The other one that I did, I wasn't as happy with, and so that's going to be going in this person, the gift box that I'm building for someone who sent something to Jedi. Hello, Edward Ferguson, and thanks again for being a subscriber. Hannah says, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you complain that your stuff got damaged because they don't improve when we complain to Walmart. No, they don't, Hannah. They don't. You're absolutely right. Starbuck Tech, I use pretty much one. It's a Prusa Mini. and I've been very happy with it, and I'm starting to feel the pinch. Now I know why people get more than one, but I don't want to be maintaining everything, because I have a few things that I need to print, and I'd rather do them sooner rather than later, so I'm going to be printing a few things back to back in the purple filament for the next little while, because I've got to get the gift box off to someone. So now, I'm not going to see your chat, I'm not going to hear your notifications, but you'll be able to hear me. Again, I won't be able to see your chat until I return to this desk. But let me go ahead and pull that up. Let me make sure it works. It works. Look at that. You won't hear an echo until I walk. Well, you may hear a brief echo as I'm walking away, but it won't be too bad. Here we go. This is a Lego tour, Lego room, Lego area tour, requested by those who came back from the Rise of the Podcast raid. Here we go. I gotta walk away. I gotta walk way a ways. There we go. This is a dragon. This glows in the dark. This dragon. I don't know if it'll glow in the dark here with this camera, but nah, it needs more light. Let me see if I can expose it to more light here. And then when we come back, then we'll see how if it glows in the dark. Although I don't know how well this camera necessarily works. It's a print toy photography. I'm a huge fan of toy photography. That was a gift if you're in the Seattle area. So we'll walk down here. This Imperial Walker is a rocker that was commissioned by, her name is Bonsai Baby. She also streams live on this a Jawa Sandcrawler toy chest. Jedi's got a few of her, well, she's got her Razor Crest, and these are the not Galactic Heroes, what do they call them? God, I'm blanking on their name. The little short ones, they used to be Galactic Heroes, but this is a completely different line, but it's the same kind. It's like shorter figurines, and it'll come Mission Fleet, that's the name of it. So she's got a few out. She's had them out, and they probably have to go back here soon. Yep. Welcome, Star Wars. Yeah. Here we go. This is where we tend to keep a lot of the Lego stuff. Not all the Lego stuff, but we got our Millennium Falcons here. Not all the Millennium Falcons. And I'll say what I mean. Or maybe I'll show you what I mean on another day. We have the vintage Millennium Falcon elsewhere. This is a vintage Imperial Walker. This is a Kenner Imperial Walker, and I got it thrifting for a few bucks. But we have like Hoth figures in here, so the idea is to grab it, including, you remember my AT-AT drivers, right? We have even other AT-AT drivers up here. Let's put the AT-AT driver where she belongs, right up front. Woo! So it's nice to just kind of take out and maybe take pictures out in the snow. We've done that 1 or 2 times. This Millennium Falcon was printed by Krusty. Oops, sorry about the rotation there. Krusty 3D printed that and sent it in a gift box a few weeks ago. So it went in here. Other modern vehicles underneath, but not they're cast off the vintage molds. No, Lego. A lot of the mini builds, micro builds from like advent calendars or poly bags, like the shuttle Tidarium. There's another additional Falcon. There's the Ghost. The other Ghost that we have is actually elsewhere, like the big Ghost. There's Boba Fett Starship, one of the first Slave ones. It's very dusty in here. Like I said, I collect dust. So Boba Fett Starship, when it's still sold as the Slave 1. Other items like Django. We have the Lego Lego buildable figures, I should say, that I picked up thrifting. I picked up a few of them thrifting. Other random sets that may end up. Hey, look at that! Look at that, Lady Burrito. That's the one we built last week. Just a small set with Ahsoka. That's a different Ahsoka than the first one that I had, the Clone Wars Ahsoka. So some of the smaller things may actually get broken down into bags as we make room for other things. These minifigures are largely ones that I picked up thrifting, so super cheap, just like extras. And Jedi has her own minifigures that she goes through. She's got a lot of mini dolls too. Some of the newer collectible series here, because I need to find, oh yeah, over here, minifigures. I'll get there. Patience. The Jedi needs to have patience. But the minifigures will find their way over there as soon as I get a hold of like acrylic risers, so that I can get more space here, or more room, maximize the space in each one of these shelves, because otherwise you've got all that wasted space because the minifigures are so short. So and I don't want to do that. So these will eventually move. It's just I need to put them up. These up here were thrifted, these minifigures. And when I say thrifted, I get them like super cheap. Like either online on sales, or like locally at a thrift store. I'm like, whoa, those are cheap. Like, you know, $10 or whatever for all those minifigures, because I'm a fan of minifigures. The ill-fated video series I have, there's pretty much the full minifigures series 1 and 2. 2 not very well available, not readily available, I should say, in the US. But I ended up working with someone, and he was able to get me a series 2 from the UK at a better rate than I could have gotten on eBay. Other stuff up there. Oh, look, got another Millennium Falcon. Other vehicles up on top of the shelves. We've got some Lego dinosaurs, not all of them. There's a Mundashawan. I did not print this because for the life of me, I could not get a Mundashawan 3D printed very easily or very well or to this quality. So as small as it is, I just ended up getting it on Etsy. It's like, you know, I would love to have a good Mundashawan, and so that's there. Jack, Sally, like Super 7 figures, because I got the Brickheads thrifting. I'm not a Brickheads guy necessarily. We've got a few Star Wars Brickheads elsewhere. This pair was a gift from Nathan Sawaya. Remind me when I get up to the play shop, I'll show you another personal gift from Nathan Sawaya that's Star Wars related. Some minifigures from like the holiday series that I picked up. So there's a chocolate bunny. I think that was from last year. Some books on record. You might remember the Star Wars books on record. They are there. Gotta be careful not to knock this. And then the minifigures. Like I've been collecting minifigures from a number of years. You know, from either sets or individually purchased. They are plentiful. You know, like I said, if anything, I need to get a hold of, or I need to like, I don't know if I'll be able to wire, but get like lights attached in here to beam down. I'm not an electrician at all, though. But anyway, minifigures. Like an entire shelf. I don't know if I'll be able to find the Ahsoka that I originally got as a magnet set. There's the Mr. Gold minifigure there. I would be very lucky. And yeah, these do get knocked over every so often. So sometimes they get moved around. And like these are not to be messed with. Oh, hang on. No, that was an X-Wing pilot. Not to be messed with. And yeah, we have books here in the library as well. A lot of Star Wars books, Star Wars Lego books, also non-Star Wars books. I've kept a lot of books over the years that I was actually in. Like, so I was included in this book. My name's in that book. This book, that book. Some crowdfunded books here. This was. I've got to be careful because I don't want to like knock anything over here. But like this was a crowdfunded book that I loved. Action figures not included. So the idea with this book is it calls back, or these crowdfunded books call back to the era, you know, of yesteryear, of what it was like to collect back in the 80s. So a lot of fun. I'm just gonna set you there. I'll remember that. More minifigures, tons more. Like I said, Jedi has her own. We had a little issue years ago. She was substantially younger, and she wound up walking away with like one of the minifigures. I'm like, no, this is not like this is in a set. This is a part of a series. She walked away with a couple of these, and I'm like, oh, I was really nervous about that. Like, so I ended up I had to get duplicates, but I was like, wait a minute, I don't think you had these pieces. And she didn't. She ended, but she walked in here, or she, you know, somehow she got in here despite the child gate. And as soon as I know that she's not going to be mixing these in this collection with hers, and trust me, she's got plenty of her own. She is not for wanting with any of the Lego stuff at all. And this is not possible, because she's got plenty. Certainly far more than I ever did. Ooh. Allergies. More minifigures, as you can imagine. You're probably not, I don't know if you take it full screen, if you can see all the details, but if it's a Lego minifigure, you know, I would love to collect it. I don't care if it's a dupe. Like, this stuff is just, oh, there's a Thrawn. You see the Thrawn? Right there? All those, all of these are licensed. All of them licensed. Nothing bootleg. I see some have fallen over here. The Unikitty set, some of my mini dolls. Here, some of the original mini dolls. Jedi has, like, tons more. Horses and sharks. And there's the Jabba's Palace set with Jabba there. The other minifigures are down below. Someone sent me a Chris mug from Legoland years ago. There's a Vader helmet that someone made, and then they sent it to me. It's made of fiberglass. It's like a super high quality helmet. Although I would love to get a duplicate of the Black Series helmet. I've got one. I would like to get a second one at some point. Other Lego sets that I built years ago, including, there's the Death Star. This is my, yeah, see how this broke? It's because someone was messing with it. These things don't just snap on their own. I tell Jedi to be incredibly careful with this for a reason. I don't want this stuff broken, because I will really have a conniption if I have to rebuild this thing. It would not be a happy day here at all. Because this is something, so yeah, you can play with it under supervision, but watching it very carefully. This is yes, it's a toy. Yes, it's a play set, but I cannot stress enough just how careful you have to be with this. It's a big deal. Other things that have made their way throughout shelves, other Lego sets that may again get not filed, but put away, like the smaller ones that don't really mean much. This was like one of the Sith, I think a Sith training set. Scooters are easy enough to balance. There's a Yoda lamp there. Do or do not, there is no try. Original art from a local artist, Justin Hillgrove. There's a Rancor, some Dewbacks, Star Wars cards that I thrifted, Lego cards that I also thrifted. These I don't think are even available in the US, but pretty cool. Minifigures cards. And then we've been to BrickCon before, so it's been a few years. I used to go every year, and then I stopped. It just got busy. You know, it was like I was the only one who was really enjoying it. And maybe we'll do it again at some point. Some He-Man, vintage He-Man figures, some Banthas. They're just like, oh, you know, where would be a good place to put this? This will probably get reorganized at some point. Here are some sets that I'm going to be assembling on screen at some point, including the Harry Potter books. Those are ones that I want to assemble because I think it'd be cool to have in the library, the Harry Potter books. Some other minifigure or old bags. These are old McDonald. So McDonald's years ago used to do Happy Meal toys, the Lego Classic toys. And what was cool about this particular area, though you can sell the animation style is more in the 90s, this would have been a Happy Meal toy. So there's the Hamburglar. And so this is the set of the Happy Meal Lego toy, this series of Lego Happy Meal toys. Because back when I was a kid, I remember getting Lego Happy Meal toys. Not this. This would have been probably released at the time that I was in college, but way back when, they had another series of Lego sets, and I remember getting Lego sets from McDonald's because we didn't get Lego a lot as kids. I mean, certainly not as much as Jedi gets, you know, with me as an adult. So I mean, that's for the most part. That's that. Oh, look, it's another Millennium Falcon. Other art: Justin Hillgrove. Like, he's a local artist, but he's probably world renowned. Hang on, let me try to save a little bit of electricity there. Walking back up. Now I'll see what comments I missed. Thank you for your patience. Oh yeah, let's see if we can get this thing to show up. This is a glow-in-the-dark filament. I don't know if this is gonna work. Yeah, okay, I can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's barely. It would be better if we had it like... Can you see it there? No. It's a little too dark. But yeah, that's the glow-in-the-dark dragon that Ian Douglas sent. Star Wars. Here we go. There we go. that was the tour. Thank you very much for tuning into the tour. Bust 3D print. What do you mean bust? Don't say bust. That's a bad thing unless I'm printing a bust. I just see bust and then 3D print. What? So was that worthy of your attention? Do you feel that was worth your return? Oh, you edit to a comment. Fair enough. Oh, Breaking Oz, thank you for the cheer. I don't know if I missed any other. No, I did not. Thank you for the cheer.
Breaking Goes 96 cheered X100.
I appreciate that cheer. I appreciate all cheers. Mustang, thank you for the cheer.
Moose 65 Tang 28 cheered
Deep
X100.
Laker. Thank you for the cheer. Y'all are kicking off a hype train. I know what that means. That means you want to see Emperor Palpatine, don't you?
Hit a Blaker cheered X100.
Lady Burrito says one of our subs sent us a glow-in-the-dark 3D printed Yoda. Nice. Because you can, I mean, this is not, I think, this is not, I know this is not glow-in-the-dark filament, but this particular yellow and like a green that I have is UV reactive. So it doesn't glow in the dark, but it glows when you put UV light on it. You know, that purple type of light. Thank you for kicking off a hype train. That was definitely worth coming back to. Okay, good. I'm glad. That's not the reason that it got put together, but always happy to show off the collection to fellow fans. It's fun to do. Hello there, KC Special. Thanks again for your sub. I do appreciate it. Oh, Deep Laker.
Hit a Blaker cheered X400.
Indeed they did. 400. Thank you so much for that cheer. We're almost through a level 1 hype train. Let me turn on the graphics here.
Thank you for subscribing. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, but we're not Palpatine. You're not coming out yet. Like if we get to a level 2, then you'll come out. Okay. First, did you welcome everybody here tonight? Did you, Palpatine?
Don't know the power of the Perillo side of the Force. It's not so much dark as it is weird. Like, it really gets weird in here. So weird.
Not Palpatine. That was Vader. I knew it was going to be Vader, but I said to remind me when I got back up to the play shop to show you another Nathan Sawaya original. Nathan Sawaya is a Lego artist.
Breaking Goes 96 cheered X200.
Wow.
Choo-choo. Watching while doing recovery from wisdom teeth removal today.
Whoa. Excuse me, I get gassy when I listen to people talking about wisdom teeth removal. Nathan Sawaya built this. Nathan Sawaya is a master builder. He built this Lego BB-8 for me. Specifically for me. It is one of a kind. From Nathan Sawaya. Oh, hang on. That's tilted there. Give me a second. There we go.
Not No Good rated my stream with 4 viewers.
Thank you, Not No. I did not know that Not No. Did I know that Not No Good was a streamer? Or did I not know that Not No Good was a streamer? Hey, Stone Monkey Research. Thank you for joining. Welcome back to the Play Shop. We just finished a little tour, or another little tour. I gotta get Emperor Palpatine, because we're at a level 2 hype train.
Breaking Goes 96 cheered X200.
Well, Breaking Oz. I appreciate you cheering again. I am sorry to hear that you had your wisdom teeth removed, but you are very smart
Darth Gallum cheered X100.
for being here, as is Darth Gallum. Not to be confused with Darth Vader. Two completely different people. Darth Vader does not collect Star Wars things, but Darth Gallum does. It's just the way it goes. Not No Good says, I don't consider myself to be a streamer yet, just getting started. We had fun today. That's what it's all about. It's all about having fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. If you're having fun, you're doing it right. Good. Yes, it is. So good. Speaking of good, tonight, after I have retired for the evening, in the Star Wars world, the galaxy far away, I will be watching Picard, Season 2, Episode 1. That's right. I will watch Star Trek. Been looking forward to it. What would be the name of Darth Vader's brother if he was a tax criminal? Tax E. Vader. Well, no, well, I guess, yes, I suppose. We don't... The nice thing about being Emperor, I don't have to worry about paying taxes.
Not my good cheer, Dex 100.
Thank you, Not No Good, for cheering 100 bits. Very appreciated. Let me pull my bits out of the bin. Spilling my bits everywhere. Oops, sorry, wrong trigger. See if I can remember what it was. There we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The pitched squeal, right? Yes. Thank you for cheering those bits. They have now materialized in front of me. Oop. I'm knocking over the BB-8. I have a tendency of knocking things over around here. This is the problem when you have limited visibility with your cloak. It's a very important cloak to wear. It's a cloak that keeps me warm in the winter. It keeps me very Sithy. Everyone could use a cloak like this made of wool. I do use the Force every so often. I don't mean to. That's usually when things get knocked over. When I use the Force accidentally. What are my thoughts on humans taking a cruise in the galaxy on the Galactic Star Cruiser? Well, give me all your money for that, because that's like $1 billion. Seriously, it's like 6,000 Republic credits. It's a lot. It's a lot. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this hype train. We got out of the station, which is better than being stuck in the station every single time. I will return you to Chris. No barefoot Lego brick walk this time.
Let's say, thank you everybody for participating in the hype train. Let's see if we can open up one of these figures here for the vintage collection. I'm kind of excited to do Barra Sophie, so I think I'm going to do Barra Sophie tonight. Let me check, because I don't even know. I've got an older Barra Sophie. Sorry, I'm checking the card to make sure that I'm opening the lesser of the two. It seems both of these seem viable. Because that's the worst. The worst is when you open one and then you realize, oh man, there was a worse box to open. How have I been? Fine. Am I still printing from yesterday? No. Not that I know of. Did I? Oh, did I? Is this the one I was printing last night? This is the older model. This is the one I'm doing tonight. I'm doing the same one, but the newer model of this. Just to see, because I wanted to test it for another reason, and I'm like, well, let me print that one. Because if nothing else, you know, I can, like I said, I could send it on as a gift to somebody else. All right, we're opening a Barra Sophie. This is the vintage collection for tonight. It's always a good day when you get new Star Wars figures. it's annoying, I will say, with all these exclusives that the industry kind of promotes, because it just makes it that much more nerve-wracking to get a hold of and drives up the price. So this is a she's got a really nice, really good facial sculpt on this Barra-Sophie. Really nice. Except the only thing I don't like is the mixture of the soft goods, which I love, and then the hard plastic, right? Which, you know, I feel this is a decent trade-off, because the hood at least is set so that you can see her. It's a little... I sometimes I don't know why they make these design decisions. But this is the Barra-Sophie. We have not seen a new Barra-Sophie. I wouldn't... She, unfortunately, she doesn't... That's not styled like the Tartakovsky Barra-Sophie, either. At all. Which, I would say is really unfortunate, because the whole idea behind doing these Clone Wars figures was specifically such that you could, I mean, they were based on the Tartakovsky, the Clone Wars cartoon that preceded the Clone Wars series. And I remember catching them like one-offs in the Cartoon Network when they were originally published, but missing so many of them. I missed so many of them because DVRs back in the day were horrible. Either way, it's a really good Barra-Sophie, good paint deco. The nice thing about the lightsaber, I don't know if you saw the prong on the hilt, but you can attach it to the belt. That happens with a lot of the Star Wars figures. Love the colors on this. Love the soft goods. Not really thrilled about the hard plastic, but, you know, honestly, better than nothing. And it makes it a lot easier to stand. So she stands up very easily here. So we can put her back there. So that's that one for the day. And then we can move to the Black Series here for the day. Thank you for the follow. Is it GT3K? Thank you. Hello, Brother Bill. Good to see ya. Welcome back to the Play Shop. We got a few new subs tonight. We got a new sub goal. It's been adjusted somewhat. Just opened a Barra-Sophie. Barra-Sophie. The thing I need to check is, because this is the one I've been excited to open. I've got a duplicate, to get the AT-AT driver. The first order AT-AT driver. Sorry I haven't been around. I'm in Atlanta for business. Brother Bill, totally understand. You never have to apologize to me, ever, about that. I appreciate you being here when you are. Edward Ferguson's with me. I agree it's to be either soft or hard, not both. I just feel that. I would rather have soft goods all the way around than hard goods. Or a hard rubber. And the trade-off is, this is a decent trade-off in the sense that Barris is so thin that getting her to stand without a stand could be a challenge. So I don't mind the hard plastic, the rubbery plastic behind the soft goods, but I kind of wish that she had a more of a soft or a softer hood. No worries, Brother Bill. Thank you so much. You may have to remind me to try doing Balderdash on Sunday. Boulder Dash on the C64. Let me grab a box. I got to do a quick box comparison. Sucks about exclusives. You only pay $6,000 for the Starkers. That's what I'm saying. Well, per person, right? Or is that like 2 people? I can't remember. Oh, here's the thing that sucks. Both of these arrived with some kind of damage. Yeah, but no damage. So then you got to choose the lesser of the boxes. They were not designed to be held in boxes, but as a collector, it makes it so nerve-wracking. It really does when it comes to shipping and handling, when it comes to collectibles. If there's one thing I could change about the industry, it would be about or it would be around, basically, you know, guaranteeing a good box on shipment. Because I'd be willing to pay extra. So this corner got crunched, but not as bad as this other one, in my opinion. Yeah, so I think I'm going to open this one. This is the Black Series opening for tonight. I know you'll get to it when you want. Your content's great every day. Brother Bill, thank you for the faith. Thank you. I'm doing SOTOR tomorrow. That's kind of retro. But I do want to play Boulder Dash because it's been so long. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, former Imperial officers, nobles, and technologists plotted to return to power, building fleets and armies in secret. This movement became the First Order, led by Supreme Leader Snoke. With the 709th Legion, I don't think I'm going to be holding on to anything in here except for the figure, so if I need action figure stands for Black Series, just let me know. What, are you printing them again? I haven't printed too many of the Black Series. I have to, and I've got, now that I know how the vintage collection will print, I don't need too many of them. But I found a couple of decent Black Series stands that are models. Hey, Crack Pyrex, good to see ya. Nonstop. X-Men stands too. Wow. No, I don't need X-Men stands. I just need... there are plenty of stands that I know I can print. There are. So this box is pretty much... Apart from the box art, I'm inclined to... I kind of want to hold on to that box art. I kind of want to hold on to this. I don't hold on to all the box stuff, but... this looks like it's a new face sculpt. And potentially different paint deco for Hux. Oh, sorry, he was like behind the PIP. My bad. Here we go, there's Hux.
I don't want you to win. I need Kylo Ren to lose.
Such acrimony. Get another, this is probably the same mouse droid that we saw in the previous set. Kind of a throwaway, in my opinion. In the sense that, I mean, it's not much of an additional figure compared to the other sets. But hey, if it's the only way to get it. I think we've seen this Astromech before as well. I could be wrong, and maybe it was more of an R2 style as opposed to an R5. But ostensibly, First Order. Hello there, Duff. What's my single most cherished Star Wars collectible? My first Star Wars figure. The first Star Wars figure. Speaking of the first Star Wars figure. The only reason I wanted this, I mean, like, and they knew what they were doing. Disney knew what they were doing. This right here. This is the reason, this figure right here is the reason, the only reason I wanted this set. And I know I'm not alone. This is the First Order AT-AT driver. Oh, wow. And you know, I would have been just as compelled to get him as a kid. Just as compelled. In fact, let me flip views here. Get a clean screen grab. I don't know if Kurt's still here, but I'll grab one too. Let me get it framed just right. Tilted head. This is an exclusive Black Series figure. Let me duck back a little bit. This is the reason, this AT-AT driver specifically, the First Order AT-AT driver, this one is going to stand, because it is a Disney Parks exclusive, it is going to stand up with the original AT-AT drivers that I have up above. So this is definitely going to be, this is going to be treated very carefully. I'm like, yeah, because I definitely don't want to lose track of it. The other ones, not sure what's going to happen with Hux. Or that, or the... I know where the mouse droids are gonna go. Or the mouse droid, I should say. Hey! Did we get... Did we get... The Chimera! Oh my god! I totally missed that. I totally missed the... Did we... What's this? I've been raided? Wow! Look at everybody who's joining us here! Welcome, Raiders! Hi, I'm Chris Perillo. I love geeking out here every night at 6 p.m. Pacific, just chatting, so feel free to join the conversation. Follows are free. Love to have you here. Welcome to my play shop. Welcome, Raiders! Tomorrow, I'm giving away this box. This is relevant because the Chimera's got a whole fleet of fans of SWTOR. I'm also going to try playing it for the first time tomorrow, assuming I can get it to work. I mean, I think I can get the game to work, but like streaming the game, I'm going to do my best to get it all working. I'm going to do my best. So patience, everyone. I play Star Wars games. And keep in mind, the first Star Wars game I ever really played was the Atari, the coin-op Atari game, the Vector Graphics, Star Wars Atari. That's how old I am. I grew up in the 80s. And by the way, I'll be shouting all you out, all y'all who are just following right now. So I'm playing SWTOR for the first time tomorrow. Not a stranger to Star Wars. I'm vintage. I'm definitely old. Let me try to catch up and say welcome, everyone. I had to say this immediately because the Chimera, again, thank you. I am blessed to have you and count you really as a part of this community. This is a big one, the Studio Edition. I didn't realize it was as valuable as it was, but I'm giving it away tomorrow and playing SWTOR. Ow, for the first time tomorrow. I cut myself. No, I broke skin. The plastic's a little, there's a cut on it. You caught me in the middle of not just 3D printing another Darth Vader figure, which is here, that's printing below. I 3D print something every day. More often than not, it is Star Wars related. Sorry, it's not exactly as in focus I would like to be. But like last night, I did this Vader. This is a one-piece Vader. Constantly printing Star Wars stuff. Tonight, I also opened a vintage collection. This is a new Walmart exclusive, Barra Sophie. I'm a huge fan of the figures. Like, Star Wars collectibles. Like, this is you couldn't get enough of them as a kid back in the 80s. I am definite vintage, and in fact, I will show you. And this is not something I do very often, but since we just got raided last night by Rise of the Podcast, another Star Wars community here on Twitch, I did a tour of the Lego stuff tonight, but I'll pick up the camera again. In the middle of the raid, I was showcasing a part of the 4-pack from the Disney parks, the AT-AT driver, First Order AT-AT driver, an exclusive. Happy to have it because my first Star Wars figure ever back in the 80s was the AT-AT driver, and I still have it. So, Lady Burrito, you're going to love this because we're about to do... I think we're going to do a very brief tour of the play shop again. Let me get it rotated. So thank you everybody for bearing with. Give me a second. Let me welcome everybody who just raided. Because I probably missed like a billion things, right? And usually I pay attention to chat. Very much attention to chat and communicating with chat. You can get me talking about Star Wars easily enough, but I cover a lot. I geek out. I love chatting. I love hanging out. I love meeting fellow Star Wars fans. I don't consider myself much of a gamer, but when I walk around to show you some things in here in my play shop, I'm going to point out one of the first Star Wars video games I ever played as a kid back in the 80s. But first, let me welcome Saron727, Immortalized Love, Los Slayers, Ashton Cox Gaz, if I said that right, Lethal X Rage, Dirty Deeds 420, Stormy's Legacy, Nana's Nonsense, Derifian, Goro Kane, Elizandad, Broken Sissenman, that's funny, Willie Low 612, and Decimus. So thank you for following. Welcome to the Play Shop. You are very welcome to join. I live stream every night at 6 p.m. Mention the giveaway tomorrow because I feel that was very, very, very important to do. Now, since this is the Chimera rating, Chimera, I think did you get a walk around the Play Shop before with Rune? When you popped in before, honestly, it was an okay day. Chimera, I gotta say, it was fine. I mean, I got a First Order. This is great. Love getting new Star Wars figures every day, if I have a chance. But now that you raided, it's a perfect day. Now that you trust your community with me, it's a perfect day. Let's go ahead and knock their size. Are all the new followers, are they paying attention? Aaronella says, glad to see you trying SWTOR for the first time. Well, I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to get sucked in. But let me do something here. Let me pick up the secondary camera and walk around. Let's make sure. You may hear an echo. You may hear an echo as I get closer to the mic. But this is a tour. This is a quick tour, a nickel tour around my play shop for the Chimeras community. Okay? This is specifically for everyone else. It's a bonus if you've seen it before, because I probably show you different things here. Total bonus. I'm going to take off the headset. I will not be able to see chat as easily. Let me zoom in a tiny bit. All right, here we go. This is everything that's around me. If you hear an echo, it's because the microphone is over there. But this is what I look at. I look at these shelves of Star Wars. A lot of Darth Vader collectibles, but over the years, you know, these shelves kind of became pre-themed. So like, you know, oh, here's a rainbow droid that they released, Disney released last year. So I'm like, oh, it would look good there. Sith Trooper, Incinerator Trooper. Here's a 3D printed a battle droid figure that does articulate. Sorry if the red is getting blown out. Other Sith Troopers, like the Lego Sith Trooper, because I'm an adult fan of Lego as well. This is why I don't touch shelves. Because inevitably things fall over. These are, by the way, these are resins. I bought these from someone. These limbs are magnetic. The rainbow Stormtroopers, molded from the vintage Star Wars figures. I will pick these up later, the other Sith Troopers. You'll see Star Wars, or a lot of Darth Vader stuff, because that's pretty much the concentration of the focus here in this room. Uh-oh. This Vader fell over. There we go. Now you're standing up. Dave Prowse, having autographed, personalized autograph to me. Chris the Gnome, because I used to be known as Locker Gnome. Dave Prowse on a napkin. I have a whole series of original Star Wars autographs on napkins as well. Star Wars Hot Wheels. You'll see I collect dust as much as I collect Darth Vader stuff, primarily. But, you know, honestly, over time, it just became Star Wars, right? So this room, as much as it is mostly Vader, you'll see other things strewn about. And then I grabbed, like, years ago, some Stormtroopers, and they ended up going here. There's a whole bunch of vintage AT-AT drivers. My era. That's the one. If I have a chase, it's the vintage AT-AT driver. Whole bunch of stuff down there. Stormtroopers that are in front of it, because I got a TV here and I got a shelf. I'm like, well, I might as well put troopers there, you know what I'm saying? Other Vader fun stuff, including, you know, a vintage toothbrush with Darth Vader. There's you can see the dust. Look at this. This is vintage right there. Look at that. That is vintage dust. That's collectible, dude. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. Other figures, like I was like, oh, I love those Christmas styled or Life Day styled figures. Other Stormtrooper colored Stormtroopers kind of made their way. Those are 3D printed, right? These are newer shelves, so I haven't quite filled them in yet, and I probably need to, but I have a bunch of the Star Wars Hot Wheels in here. Like, this is a bin full of the Star Wars Hot Wheels and the Disney cars. I don't have all the Disney cars, unfortunately, but I needed my daughter's help. I know this is the newer one. This is the newer speeder bike, but I wasn't sure if I had an open blue Jedi Starfighter, and I asked my daughter, whose name is also Jedi, if she could help me, and I thrifted this 501st Clone Trooper car for $4 a few weeks ago. We no longer have dogs, but we have Star Wars dog toys. I like the Star Wars trinkety stuff as well. So, like, I ended up thrifting a whole bunch of these little, like, hexagons. There's Sice Noodles. Some Darth Vader stuffies. A whole bunch of droids. Like, a whole bunch of droids. Mini droid factories. Many unique Disney Park droids here. A red Vader. An extra red Vader, I should say. Droids. I thought I was trying to find, and I'm not sure where I hung it. It's here somewhere. I know it is. Like my pass. Here it is. This right here. This is the special Lucasfilm pass they gave me. The Countdown to Force Friday. This is a special badge that I got at Lucasfilm when I did a video in the Star Wars YouTube channel a few years ago around the launch of The Force Awakens. So there's a gap back there because that's where I keep a lot of computer stuff you don't need to see. A Rainbow Vader 3D printed. Droids. There's the other side of the 3D printer. Yes, Lego. Wait until you... Oh, yeah, there's the other side, right? There's what you're missing on the other side. So there's my chair and everything. I mean, Vader. Other, like I said, you know, there have been areas that, like, you know, have the not Vaders, but there's my first Star Wars figure. Right there. There's the AT-AT driver. Sometimes it's hard. I think I've got to stick closer to the mic. Sorry if you are hearing a slight echo. Other Vader figures that I've thrifted. There's my Darth Malgus right there. Lumia, Darth Malaval. I've picked up a few of the comic packs from EU or Legends. I'm like, if it's a Star Wars figure at this point, like I'm in love. Here's a newer a Star Wars figure pack from Disney parks. This was a part of a 4-pack, but there were blind boxes that I was hoping to get. I'm missing like one of these 6 that one of the people in our community was hoping to grab. You know, because they're blind boxes, so I don't have the full set of these newer droids, but they will go somewhere as soon as I get that. There, some Hikari Sofubi, Funko, a lot of the Darth Vader stuff. So at some point, it is there's like I have like other Lego. We have other Lego stuff around here, but there is the pretty much the full collection of Vader Lego figures. Whoa! Masop, thank you for gifting a sub. I see that from across the room. Thank you very much. I think I have all of them. The Darth Vader the Vinylmation figures. I'm pretty sure these are all of them. I might be missing one variant. I've got the Goofy, the maskless, this one, and then the Mickey style. So a lot of the trinkety things kind of find their way into the smaller shelves. Clones. I need to get risers there. So I mentioned that we're talking about video games. So like this to me, this was the game that I grew up with back home on the Atari 2600, The Empire Strikes Back. This is not the one. This is another one, but the Atari cartridge, Parker Brothers, Empire Strikes Back. This was the one right there. So that was the one I was going to say. That was my kind of video game. Now I also have an arcade cabinet in here, and I do play it every so often. Some Tron figures. Those aren't the vintage ones. They are recasts or remolds. But years ago, Lon Milk Lover sent me these Flynn's arcade tokens. Oops. So Tron tokens. Come on. Yeah. So actual Tron Flynn's arcade tokens. So I've kept those right there, as well as a Tron recognizer. Everything's fault. This is why I got to be careful when I go touching things. Printed this, the Tron recognizer, a while ago. More Vader stuff. More figures. Those have got to get reorganized over here as soon as I recast. As soon as I get 5 free minutes to redo the shelf. Other Astromechs. Boba Fett. Where? Scout Troopers by and large here, because like one of my favorite vintage style troopers. Some clones. I'm probably going to be putting some 3D printed figurines down on this shelf with there's my home office with my daughter. Redone in Lego. See, it used to be very simple back there. Now it's a little more complex. Other shelves as you come in, the Jabba's Entertainment, Jabba's Palace, as it was built out. That's me frozen in carbonite that I 3D printed. Someone modeled that. You can actually print me in carbonite if you have a 3D printer. Knights of Ren, some random droids, some random Jedi, Ewok shelf, colored Vader shelf. That's right. And this one, there's a Cobra Commander. This is a unique. It's a custom from a guy named Boylan Pop. It's a Cobra Commander Vader that I loved. Grew up on the Commodore 64, Atari 2600, and NES, so they're there. I'm also a fan of Garbage Pail Kids. These are wax packs
The only one that's in acrylic is the first series. Some vintage Star Wars Vader stuff. In fact, I have over here. Oh, come on, dude. There we go. So back in, I cannot believe I still have this. This eraser, this little stupid Millennium Falcon eraser. This is the one I used in the 5th grade. Never used it, but carried it with me, and it survived. It's from the 5th grade, and now I'm nearly 50 years old. So that's a vintage item from childhood there. So yeah, you can see a lot of stuff there. I'm probably missing like a billion things, but every time I do this, especially when people have come here before, I try to show people something new. At some point in the future, and I don't know when, I'm probably going to need help like reorganizing everything, just to make it a little easier to get through and navigate. And then of course behind me, these shelves, it's all Vader, Dusty Vader, which people will tell me, oh no, it's not good, but like, 3D printed me. There's me as a dark helmet, and I actually have a dark helmet. That's a resin figure that was made. I bought that. Sorry, you're looking at my butt on the other side. My butt not as interesting as what's up front.
So
that's
me muting. Okay, putting that down. That is a tour around the office for the Chimeras community. So I hope the Chimeras community enjoyed. Moss-Up, you gifted. Wow, I missed that. You gifted 3 subs, Moss-Up. I missed that. Thank you. Thank you for giving. I only saw 1, but thank you. And thank you, Deep Laker, for playing Darth Vader sound effect. I have so much Star Wars stuff to show everybody. This is just like, this is the top of the line. So if I miss any chat, it's not intentional. I usually do like chatting, but when we get rated by a solid Star Wars streamer, I'm very happy to kind of show people around. Yeah, so speaking of Lego, I showed this earlier, Director Grapes, if you're still here. Moss-Up, you are a champion. Let me just say, gifting subs is awesome. I love that, especially to people who are just new, because I would love to encourage them to, come back, because I mean, we don't see it all that often, but like I love meeting other Star Wars fans, even if we don't do the same kind of Star Wars fanning, right? There's some people who are into comics or books. I like the comics. I don't so much get into the books. Some just like the shows, some just like the movies. I like the toys, some like the games. It's a nice little mix. So if you like Lego, this is BB-8 crafted by Nathan Sawaya. And Nathan is a Lego master builder. He made this. This isn't a set. The fact that Nathan Sawaya made this specifically for me makes it priceless. Like this is seriously, it's priceless. Because like he made it specifically for me. A Lego master builder crafted this BB-8 for me and gave it to me. Like when I met him for the first time. Moss-Up loves looking at people's collections and watching the films. I've got plenty of collections to show off. Unfortunately, like I said, it gets a little dusty, which is a little embarrassing, but I know. Even Diana, my wife, said, oh, you should get glass shelves. I'm like, yeah, I don't disagree, but at this point, retrofitting that would take a lot of effort, and I'm not sure if I'd be able to do it, or if I could justify. Oh, I didn't even show the best part of the collection, did I? Y'all. I didn't even show the best part. It's like getting a master blacksmith to make you a sword. Yeah, no doubt, Rise of the Podcast. Anyone who collects understands dust. Yes, Aranella. So are any of the people who came in from the Chimeras raid still here? The hell? I dropped my BB-8. Are you still here? And the reason I ask is because I forgot to show one thing. Okay, Stormy's Legacy's still here. Aranella came in through the raid. All right, give me a second. Let me show you. This is the one thing I told myself. How could y'all let me do Moss-Up gifting a sub to Aranella?
Moss-Up gifted Aranella a subscription. Moss-Up gifted a tier 1 sub to Aranella. They have given 54 gift subs in the channel.
I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to pick up. This is going to be... Ooh. Oh, man. I've got too many moving parts here. Let me try this. How's this gonna work? Okay. I'm gonna move this around and show you the thing I forgot to show you. Up there in baseball bat cases, like up the top, you can see it above the windows there. That is the full vintage run of Star Wars figures. Those aren't necessarily all the ones I collected when I was a kid. Many of them are like the I picked up in more modern times, but they are still vintage, complete with accessories, all the way through Yak Face, including the blue snaggletooth variants, right there in the middle, kind of, which I only saw once as a kid. But I do have the full run of vintage Star Wars figures as well. That's probably the crown jewel of my collection as I knock this thing around. Come on, Chris. You can do this. Okay, apparently I can't. I was going to try shrinking. Okay, well, I guess that's the way it's going to be. We've got a new follower. Welcome to the Play Shop. Happy to have you here. Is it Dan Locked? Welcome. Happy to have you. That's definitely the crown jewel. Rise of the podcast. Did I show you yesterday? I can't remember, but yeah, the full run of vintage Star Wars figures up there. That was a biggie. That one was something that a few years ago, when I started looking, I'm like, I really wish I could go back, because I had the full collection as a kid, minus, like, they were not in good condition, because back in the 80s you had to trade with friends, and you got lucky to find one figure. I mean, let alone that figure being in good condition, and getting the accessory was almost unheard of. So I had the full collection as a kid, minus Blue Snaggletooth and Yak Face, two that I didn't know existed, but I ended up getting the last 17, and I got lucky that my parents were clued in at the time that they were. Otherwise, I would have missed it. So a few years ago, I decided, I'm like, I'd really like to redo this collection. I think it was right around the time that my daughter was born, about 7 years ago. I was like, I'd really like to redo this collection, but try to get, upgrade these figures in C9 or true mint condition. Like, so every figure up there is pretty much C9, C10, complete with original accessory, no repro items, but it is the full run of Star Wars figures up there. So yeah, that's that is the crown jewel. That is the thing. That's the thing. I probably, it took a while to put them all together. It definitely took a while. It took a lot of patience. Waiting for the right ones. Like, yes, this is fine. This will work. I'm not even sure. I want to say most of them, if not all of them, should be on stands, because I don't think they would have stood otherwise. But one of them I know, like the Luke Stormy, is kind of tilted, so I'm afraid of ever opening that, because I'm afraid of, like, dropping and losing the weapon. It's the last thing I'd want to do. What type of filament? Oh, this is PLA. It's a printed solid Jesse PLA, like a neon yellow. I'll be moving off to a purple here soon, potentially tomorrow, because I've got a few things. Mossup, you are a champion.
Mossup gifted download 1 a subscription.
Look at that.
Mossup gifted a tier 1 sub to download 1. They have given 55 gift subs in the channel.
You're helping, Mossup, in a big way. We got 10 more to get to our sub goal, where I'll walk barefoot across Lego bricks for tonight. 10 more subs tonight, and I walk barefoot on the Lego bricks, because that's the way we're going to do it. Y'all, I mean, I love the fact that we've got so many Star Wars fans here. Love it. Because even if I'm not, like, geeking out on Star Wars, because, like I said, if you caught it earlier tonight, I was saying, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Picard Season 2, Episode 1. You can be both fans, but it's just, like, as far as, like, a fandom goes, like, the one that most deeply resonates with me is Star Wars. Like, by far. By far. So I'll very often talk about other things that I'm watching or listening to, or things that are on my radar. But more often than not, if it's a collectible, it's either going to be a Super 7.5 POA, a vintage item, or some kind of a Star Wars thing that I picked up. There are exceptions to that, as if it's a rule. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Mossop gifted Airwolf28 a subscription.
Whoa!
Mossop gifted a tier 1 sub to Airwolf28. They have given 56 gift subs in the channel.
Mossop, you are on a roll. Bulbalalsaur. Funny. Is that a Pokemon reference? Bulbalalsaur? I don't do the Pokemon. That's one fandom I never got into. I was a little, like, I was a child of the 80s, for sure. But, like, by the time the 90s rolled around, I was definitely, I was in college, so it was different. I think it was the last time in the vintage era I remember buying a G.I. Joe figure. And then, of course, when the new Star Wars figures came out, the new Kenner ones, the Power of the Force, which were horrible. Like, I pull these out often. But, like, I'm a fan of 5 POA style action figures. So, like, Super 7 currently has a, like, they've got the G.I. Joe line, right? So there's a Super 7.
Mossop gifted Bulbasaur a subscription. Mossop gifted a tier 1 sub to Bulbasaur. They have given 57 gift subs in the channel.
Wow, Mossop, you are on a roll. Thank you so much for your kindness. Seriously, you are incredibly kind. Thank you for being very kind and welcoming people into our little corner of the world. The geekdom, the fandom. Like, I love the figures. But this is like, you remember the old G.I. Joes, right? They had, like, swivel battle, all that, super multiple points of articulation. I wanted them always like the Star Wars figures. And so the Super 7 has come along and basically has created a whole line called reaction figures that have basically taken the Kenner 5 POA ethos and applied it to a variety of fandoms, like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, like basically the ones that I grew up with.
Fix'em Dude just gifted 2 subs.
Fix'em Dude, giving out to C. Smith and Banana King. Okay, this is like you get a sub, and you get a sub, and we've got 6 more to go to reach tonight's sub goal. It could happen. We might hit our sub goal tonight. It could very well happen. I'd say I'd hold my breath, but I don't want to do that because I'd turn purple, which is the next filament that I'm going to be using. And then I'd faint on the desk and then, knock the print over, and it would not be cool. Couldn't help myself and translated the Arabesh. Polyterra PLA. Nice. Ah, funny. Actually, I do need to update that. It is not Polyterra PLA right now. I need to update the Arabesh, don't I? Thank you for reminding me. Because I can do that at a moment's notice.
Mossop just gifted 5 subs.
Whoa! Mossop! Okay, you may want to grab a screenshot of that Rise of the Podcast. I tried to write Rise of the Podcast, but it's incredibly long for that font size. Let's see if I can do this. Is that a little better? Yeah, there you go. There's a Rise of the Podcast for you. Take that screen grab, Rise of the Podcast. Thank you so much, Mossop, for gifting those subs, including to Williford, A. Mangoni. We haven't seen in a while, as well as King 3D's Nuts. Get that Lego ready. Oh, Airwolf. One more. Just one. Just one more. And then I've got to walk barefoot on Lego bricks. Because that's what I do when we hit those sub goals.
Fix'em Dude gifted Stone Monkey Research a subscription. Fix'em Dude gifted a tier 1 sub to Stone Monkey Research. They have given 281 gift subs in the channel.
Fix'em Dude is one of the best mods any community person could ever hope for. Let's get those Lego bricks sprinkled. Let me pick this up. I've got to get a better Lego bag. Oh my god. Yes, thank you very much, Fix'em Dude. Thank you so much. Ready? Are we ready? Are you ready? Who's not ready? You're not ready? Am I the only one who's ready? I'm not ready for this. Oh, the volume ain't gonna go any higher than this. Makes you wince. Imagine me! Sorry, this is making you motion sick as I move things around. Once again, I must say, do not try that at home. I'm a trained, I'd say professional, but that is far from the truth. I get gassy, by the way. I get very gassy when I have to walk on Lego bricks. I'm not a trained professional. In fact, I'm not trained at all. I'm qualified to do nothing. I don't break skin. There's no blood involved, no breaking of skin. It is uncomfortable. It is not fun. It's a luck of the walk. Oh, Lady Burrito, this is why... Yeah, see, the thing is, you gotta give people something to strive for. Like, well, what happens when Chris reaches that goal? What happens? Well, he walks barefoot on... Some people, they don't want to watch it, but it's kind of like an accident. You don't want to watch it, but you don't want to turn away. You feel me? Has to be worse than hot coals. It's pretty bad, Rise of the Podcast. I'm a self-taught professional. I'll give you that. No Legos have been harmed in this walk. That is true. Well, I don't think I've ever broken one. I don't think. But this print, someday, my print will finish. Seeing a little build-up there on the nozzle. I'm not happy about that. So as it finishes, I'm getting my brush. A brush. Better than a spaghetti print? Yes, I agree, Dan Locked. I've only had like one or two spaghettis. One or two. They remind me of my hair. My hair is very, when it gets long like this, it's getting very, very, very extremely long. It feels like it's like spaghetti hair. Although it looks like I look like a mic. Like, that's what my hair looks like. It should be curly. If I put like gel or some kind of agent in there, it'd get all curly. Tonight's print is a Vader figurine. I wanted to try it again because he made a new model, so I'm going to see if it works better than the previous one, if only to give him feedback. I had some wobbliness in the legs before, but we'll see if it's the same holds true for this one. We're almost done. Let me move you this way. There you go, a little view. 'Cause 2 minutes left to go. Oh, it'll work. It'll be fine, I think. Bulba. Can I say this? Bulbalalsaur said, I always thought you were more of a Star Trek guy. What? Especially because of that live chat show on Tech TV, where you chat on cable while TV watch episodes of the original. I don't remember that. I never watched the original. I never liked the original series. Kind of surprises me. I never really I don't even think I've watched a full episode of the original series. In TNG, I've seen full episodes, other than the modern generation, but my favorite Star Trek is easily Discovery. Discovery is, like, awesome. Picard, we'll see how Season 2 goes. Not going to hold my breath, but we'll see how Season 2 goes. You grew up with the original and TNG? I have some TNG reaction figures. I'll collect the TNG reaction figures. So those are the only Star Trek figures I have. Or those are I will say this. Those will be the only Star Trek figures I'll get. Are the 5 POA Super 7 reaction figures. There's something about the style that's just, to me, it speaks to the Kenner style of figures. DS9 was my jam, D-Torque. Loved DS9. In fact, I went back and rewatched DS9. Sorry, I'm shaking my wire brush at you. This toothbrush is what I use to keep things clean. So I want to try to get that filament off the nozzle while it's still warm here as it finishes. In about 0 minutes. And then we'll put the Darth Vader together. Potentially, I kind of want to try reprinting this other Darth Vader. Well, I've got the filament on here. It's going to take a while. It's going to take me into the night. But to see if I can get the helmet a little better before I swap over filaments, because I want to move over to purple tomorrow, because I got to print off a few purple things. Who got the bread? What bread? Moss Up rewatched them all recently. Good storytelling. What, for DS9? Discovery. I'm telling you, Discovery is where it's at for Star Trek. Here we go. There we go. Got it. Had to work quickly. Oops. Now we are going to flip views and assemble the figure. Assuming that works. I had some other issues. I filed a bug report with the maker of the software that I was running into issues with. Let me... Oh, I'm probably going to have things in the way, but... Give me a second. There we go. Gonna definitely have to go over that soon. So we've got this to put together. I'm debating whether or not... Yeah, I feel I can do it. I feel I can. I want to try to address a little bit of chewiness on Vader's helmet there. And again, while I have the filament here, if you don't mind, let me get this going. And then we'll put together the print. For the most part, it's smooth. It's smooth-ish. Because this will take, if I do it right, this will take 5 hours. So it'll take me into the night. I'll be in bed. I'll be asleep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the helmet is accommodated. Okay. Theoretically, this is going to work okay. If not, you know, like I said, it becomes a gift for someone else. Okay, that'll print. Oops. Hey, Loyal Moses. Good to see you. You missed a few different tours tonight. Got a couple of good raids going on, or at least really one great one from the Chimera. Tomorrow, Loyal is going to be giving away a laser printer. No, sorry, not laser printer. A laser cutter, a laser etcher in his channel. But we are giving away the Star Wars, The Old Republic classic game. And I'm going to be trying to play Star Wars, The Old Republic SOTOR for the first time ever. If I can get it working right. Or well enough on the stream. My concern is that I'm going to have problems with the... Wow, that's not... wobbly there. Just over extrusion. Where's that a wobble? Boy, oh boy, I don't know how to do this here. Alright. I don't even know. We'll see how this comes together. I'm not sure if this is going to be a definitive one because I don't like how some of this turned out. An HP laser printer. I had. That was pretty much... Those are the laser printers I used to use. Oh, son of a gun. The kit fell out. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to risk, like, stepping on that. So this... It could be the filament, it could be something else, but I'm seeing some other anomalies, and I just changed I just swapped different pieces, and I hesitate to do it again, but we'll find out as I keep going. Hey, Jays, fix it. Still possible to get Laserdisc versions? You could thrift them. Probably get them on eBay moss-up. It's usually the best place to go for a lot of that stuff. It's not going to be the best prices around. You might be able to get one from a personal collector or estate sales. Another good way of finding that kind of stuff. But sometimes even estate sales are going to get picked over depending on your area. This is the new play-action Darth Vader. The new Vader model. We'll see how it goes. Still have to use a brim with it. Legs came out okay. This is at a 0.15. Kind of wonder if I should have tried it at a 0.2 mm layer height. See if that would have turned out better. You need a mod? What do you need a mod for? So tomorrow, like I said, I hope to have enough extended breaks to be able to at least stage SOTOR. I got everything installed. I think comes down to production, whether or not I have everything working the way I want and looking the way I want it before going live tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a total experiment because I have not done a gaming type of setup in this particular room. I've done it before on Twitch, but not here. It'll be a bit different because I did it before in front of a green screen. I do have a green screen. It's just bringing it up here would be, it would have to, for doing it on the game, it would have to like go up behind me, and it would just not, I don't think it would make a very good, because of the way the lights are, it would not look great. So I'm pretty much giving up on that. It's just, my head is just going to be in a bubble, I think. Picture-in-picture kind of thing. And of course the 3D print. Now, the thing that I wanted to see the most with this is the leg attachment on the previous Vader that I did. It was a little wobbly, a little more wobbly than I would have wanted. You can't say Star Trek, really? I can say Star Trek. I don't mind saying Star Trek. You can say Expanse, it's just not my jam. You can love Expanse, you can. It's not really something you're ever going to hear me talking about. Do not come here for Expanse analysis. It's never going to happen. I will talk Picard. I will talk Star Trek Discovery, although we don't really do that. Like, I know a lot of people, break down each episode and what have you. I really only wanted to talk about one episode of Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, this last, month or so. And the only episode I was really, excited to talk... there were a couple of really good episodes. They were the Mandalorian crossover episodes. But it was the one with Luke that just had me going, okay, dude, I'm freaking out here. This is just incredible. Zach Rutledge, and I he's giving away a PS5 tomorrow, too, speaking of Zach. We geeked out for what was it, two hours, something like that. The Luke episode was incredibly good. Lady Burrito says I'm reading Abaddon's Gate right now. Is that a part of a series? You may have to educate me. Or is that the Expanse series? All right, now we put together the Vader. It is from The Expanse. See, that's the thing. It's as much as I love Star Wars. I mean, I can't imagine my life would not be as interesting if I didn't have other fandoms. Like, cause like right now, like there would be nothing, and I'd have to wait. And like, there's so many other really good forms or entertainment options that are out there. So, but the thing is I'm not. Does that mean I'm going to go in? This is what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned this is going to wobble. Yeah, it still wobbles a bit, but not as bad as it did before. Seemingly. There are too many other things to watch, and I'd go through these dry spells, right? This would be that way. You gotta make sure the hands are on the right side. This new one, boy, I tell you, the new model is a little tougher than I'd like. I mean, it's tight. It's definitely tight. Tighter than I expected. He brought the Vader neck down a bit. He did an amazing job. Like, if you want to print like Star Wars figures, like Play Action has got the best. He's like, it's like a these are like Playmobil. So if Star Wars, had Playmobil figures, this would be it. I don't know if I'm really seeing any difference though in the new model versus the old one. Oh man. Jeez, crackers. He makes those joints tight now. Dude, so friggin' tight. I know you said you wouldn't read the books. Star Wars books are amazing. Yeah, no, I mean, I do read books every so often. The last one I read was about like basically gender studies in children and how they learn the difference between different biologies.
Hello there.
Hell, is that Zach? It is. I just name checked you, dude. I mentioned that you're giving away your PS5 tomorrow, the same night that I'm giving away a SOTOR box. Yeah, so the legs are still a little more wobbly than I'd like them to be. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty decent. It's not bad. Good little Vader. I think what I'm going to do, because of that wobbliness, I have a feeling I'm just going to glue. I'm going to check the other one, but then glue, or just give it away. Give this one away. Because I feel I got a better cape. This is more the classic one. You might not be able to see the difference between the two, but there's definitely a difference. Small differences, especially in assembly. But it could be like all the layer lines show up more dramatically on this color versus the other colors. All the giveaways. That's right. Tomorrow night, like, all the giveaways are happening. Like, all the giveaways. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, jeez. So this one, yeah, this was a test to see how it turned out in this filament color. Because, like I said, I'm getting a little more wobble than I'd like in the legs, but I wonder if a different filament is going to work better. It's just the legs are fine. The legs are stiff, but it just, there's a little bit of wiggle there that doesn't happen before, with the previous prints. But I haven't done this new model in other filament yet. You're already ordering PS5 games? Good luck with that, Loyal. So I'm doing another one of these tonight here. Because I want to see if I can do the helmet a little better. It's like I keep on trying to perfect this, and then maybe I should just consider, or I should keep well enough alone. Leave well enough alone, yeah. Zach, here's what I'm giving away, Zach. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try playing SOTOR for the first time. Sorry for the mic going crunch. Gonna try SOTOR. And giving away SOTOR. So I'm giving away this box, a Collector Studio Edition box of SOTOR. Assuming I get when I get a box big enough to ship it in. I probably should. I had a couple of big boxes. I should probably try to save them. I don't know if one will fit. But that's what I'm giving away. So not quite a PS5, but for collectors, for people who play SOTOR, my belief is that if you gave them a choice, they'd be like all over this. The Star Wars: The Old Republic, if only for the Darth Malgus statue. Very, 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 very valuable. Probably more than people. Some people, when they saw it the other day, like, "Are you sure you want to give that away? You sure? You confident?" Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been here. It's good. Thank you, Magic Eyes, for thanking Moss Up for the gifted sub. You kind of helped inadvertently push us over the sub goal for tonight. Very appreciated. Because you needed the sub. You needed. Your life is complete. It's, you are very, very. I'm glad that you're now a sub.
Thank you for subscribing. I knew you could do it.
Even if that sub was gifted, doesn't matter. You become a sub. So it's great. It's great to have that kind of followers, subs, chatters. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's some people who leave their chat open for everybody to chat, but I generally will keep the chat to followers only, because I want to get, I want people to chat for a reason, not just to have drive-bys. Like, kind of commit, right? Like, hey, follows are free. Like, just say hello. Let me know who you are. So, it's a big deal. I am going to go grab another beverage. I'll be back in a moment. I will keep you watching the Vader statues and the new print. I will return. It is entirely possible that my daughter will pop in here. Give me a second. Oh. I did not know there was something. Okay, give me a second. I'll be back in a moment.
My mom's watching right now. From downstairs. Hi. I see you too.
That's it? He or she said hi? Someone said, are you sure? Did anybody say hi? I don't know. Oh, I see. Nomi3 said hi. Lady Burrito wave. Yeah, with Jedi, you kind of have to... she's not quite reading yet. She's getting there. She's in an advanced language class and gets probably more attention than she would otherwise, so I'm kind of grateful. But certain words, she's getting there. Sure, like, I've been... when I have a chance, like during the day, it depends on the course of the day, because some days I get too caught up in meetings and I can't pull away because I've got like too many things that are happening. But I try to make it a point to at least be able to do a little activity with her, or like a phonics book. I found that just the simple phonics books, I tend to like throw them, like I'd rather throw her into the deep end, if you will, to figure out, okay, sink or swim, right? So I'll let her work through it. I'm not gonna just leave her out, leave her in the lurch, right? But like have her work through a word, and while still at the same time giving her a sense of accomplishment. So I've found like these, they make little phonics pamphlet books, right? Director Grapes, thank you for thanking Moss Up, and I'm glad you are here, Director Grapes. I got some Curious George. I found thrifting. I found like a stack of Curious George books and a stack of Clifford books, and we're working our way through most of those, if not all of them. And then I'm gonna just sell them at a local place, because today I picked up a similar stack of phonics books of like Lego Animal Facts and Lego City and Lego Batman. Really, again, simple books that we can read like one or two a day, just to kind of get into the practice of reading things and having, these words kind of stick with her. Having them rotated. Rise of the Podcast Notes sounds like the best way to learn. I think it's a matter of repetition and context. And I just as soon, you can take one word and understand what it is by sight based upon it relative to other things. But like piecing words together, like stringing them together in sentences can be, potentially, a pretty heavy lift for a first grader. But I just as soon continue to push, to keep in, this advanced track of learning, at least with language, because, man, once you know how to read, the world is your oyster. So everything's a learn. Everything, for her age is a learning opportunity. Everything. Like, she'll ask a question, I'm like, well, you tell me, right? When we're out and, I'm like, I've got to pull out change. I'm like, well, what coin is that? 'Cause she's learning coins. I'm like, well, what coin's that? And she thinks about it for a second, and you can see her mind spinning. Like, and then it's a quarter. I'm like, yes. And how much is a quarter worth? And then we kind of have to work through it sometimes. But again, when you're in class and you say, oh, this is the lesson and this happens this way, and you remember it by rote, like, oh, this happens and this happens and this happens. It's patterns. But when you break the child out of the pattern and you provide different context to it, like, what is this coin? And it doesn't look like the coin in the book, and it's not a part of the lesson, but it's still very relevant. That becomes that deeper learning opportunity. Yes, Chris Perillo, my oldest daughter, studying for English degree. It's a good degree to have. It's a great degree to have. It's very flexible. I tell you what, having an English degree has been like incredibly flexible. You remember there was a public access show called Story Lords that was all about teaching comprehension through context clues. She picks them up. Like the phonics books are very simple. They're very accessible. I'm not going to say almost too simple. Like, I can tell you, like, the Clifford books they're like preschool level, not even kindergarten level. They are preschool level. And she's at first grade in an advanced class. So she usually goes through those okay. Certain words like the who, what, when, anything with a W, who, what, when, where, why, even how, those words trip her up. Like over and over and over again. Who, what, when, where, why. Like those 5, because you see them everywhere. So I'm like, dude, okay, who, what, when, where, why. Like, we've seen this before, so I like, okay, she sees the word who. Like, when you see that word, think of an owl. What does an owl say? Who. That's that word. So I'm trying to give her a visual, like this pictorial representation in her head, so when she sees WHO, she remembers who. That's an owl. That's the owl word. That's who. Those are the 5. She trips up all the time. But I let her speak it out. I don't, unless I know I'm like, that's a big word. Let me get through that for you. But, I'll let her speak it out. Like, she'll go, oh. I'm like, all right, well, that's a good try. Let's move to the next word and then come back. Let's read it within context. And then she'll come back and she'll think about it again. And she'll say, what? Like, yes, you got it. So, like, reinforcing, not doing the work for her. That is the worst thing you could do. The absolute worst thing you could do. Because she's not, there's nothing to fail, right? But you've got to let her think for herself. So like when I'm reading with her, I let her do the reading. But I'm not, unless it's like a bigger book, then I'll do the reading, right? Like, because these words are just going to be, completely. But for the phonics books, like, all right, let's go through this book. This is the book today. We're going to go through this and do it, right? Word by word. So the Clifford is definitely below her where she should be. The Curious, I'm going way off on a tangent here, talking about reading in the child, but Curious George is a little on the edge, like it's right around where she should be, and there's some words in there that I'm like, really? Like, that's a pretty big word to throw around. I'm like, okay, I'll say that. We'll see how the Lego books go. They may be a little more, we may have to do a mix. They may be a little more advanced, but I'd rather push her past where she is to give her more of a range of vocabulary to be able to recognize than keep her at a preschool level. That's the worst thing you could do for a child. Is not hold them back, but not push them past the point of comfort. It's the same thing with puzzles. Like, if you've mastered something, that's how you know it's time to move on. You've mastered it. You've done it. Okay, it's time to figure out something else. That's and as an adult, you recognize that pretty easily. I mean, you got to find your grooves, things that you're comfortable in, and then you kind of stretch those boundaries. Like, okay, what's the next comfort level? Where's the next place I can go? What's the next challenge? Because the last thing you want to do is just rest on your successes, and that's where you stop growing. And it's not a good, it's good to have something to master. It's good to feel that sense of mastery. And there's certainly, going to come a point where you will have done as much as you possibly could in one discipline or another. Columbia Papa, I am currently printing another Vader in this highlight yellow, because I'm going to see if I can do it a little better than this one. The helmet got a little chewy, so I'm trying a different support mechanism here. We'll see how it goes. Hello, the Viper. Good to see you again. Rise of the Podcast says those real world moments are so good for grounding, learning, and reality. You've got to. You can't just, the child goes to school. That's fine. You get your lessons, but you've got to reinforce it. You have to, constantly. Everything's a learning opportunity. Everything. When I go out with her, everything is a learning opportunity. Everything. Everything's a learning opportunity. What's this price? It's this. That means it's close to that. Well, what's this? Well, this is what we have to do, and this is why we have to do it, right? What's that? This is what this means, and we can look at that, and this is what this. So everything's a learning opportunity. Like, even down to like looking at the store, the grocery store, like the what would you call them? Now I'm at a loss for words. You know where the aisles, right? I know that word, but like the markers, the marquees at the top of the aisles saying, here's what's in. We were looking for something the other day, and she said, where's the something? And I'm like, well, let's read. Let's find out, right? Let's look at this sign. What sign does this, what words are on this sign? And then it's boom, 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 boom. Okay, it's probably not in that aisle. We didn't break down every particular aisle, but I went to the aisle that I knew where it was. And there's certain words that she knows better than others, but like, let's work through these words, because that's ultimately going to be taking those words in context outside the classroom. That's going to provide that much more of a stable foundation for being able to build, the sounds for the words to be able to, even if she didn't know a word, she could work through that word independently. Are they marquees? Okay, that's what I thought. Does Twitch have a spending limit on it? I don't think so. Moss Up, does it? That's funny. I don't think it does. Good to be seen. Busy starting a podcast, hence me not being much. The Viper, I totally get it. Oh, the bank could have flagged it, is what Lestat said. I don't know. Hey, AJ Eversoul. The stream has been great. We had a wonderful Star Wars raid earlier. I'm not very happy with how these things have been printing out. I don't know if it's my printer again, or if it's the filament, or a combination between the two. But I'm not going to be using this filament for too much longer. So the stream's been good. I'll be using the filament for a bit, but I'm going to be switching over to a purple here relatively soon. So it won't be tonight. I want to do this. I want to try this Vader again to see if I can get the helmet a little better than this last helmet turned out. But even if the helmet doesn't turn out better, it'll be. I feel I'll be okay with this print, and then the other one will go into like the gift box when a kid comes over, or if I have to send a gift box. I've got to work. The reason I'm going to purple. So you missed the Star Wars raid? You did. We even did a brief tour, showed people some new stuff here. Tomorrow, AJ Eversole, remember I'm going to be doing SOTOR, playing SOTOR for the first time. Tonight I opened up this, the Barra Sophie Vintage Collection figure. This is it's a Walmart exclusive. And then also the Black Series 4-pack with the First Order AT-AT driver. I'm really happy with that AT-AT driver. Really happy. Not as happy as the vintage AT-AT driver. The vintage AT-AT, I mean, I'm telling you, that's my jam. That vintage AT-AT driver. So this, what I'm printing right now will definitely take, like, overnight. I'll be in bed. I'll be asleep by the time it finishes. I don't think I'm going to get up in the middle of the night to swap filaments, but I'll be moving on to not just a solid purple tomorrow, but potentially even a purple that's got a filament 1 purple, so it's got not texture to it, but it's got sparkle to it. So that's the next one I'm probably going to be moving on to after the solid purple. The reason I got to go to purple is because I mentioned this earlier for the people who've stayed tuned in. Someone sent Jedi this amazing, like, fantastic gift box of stuff. Like, I don't want to get into too many details, but like stuff that she can reassemble and build, kind of like a doll kind of thing, and collectible doll figures. That's the easiest way to say it without giving away the source. But it was a wonderful box that was easily worth a lot. And so I thought, well, to return that favor, I would want, because the person who sent it, she's a Star Wars fan. I want to try to print a few Star Wars trinkets to send off to her and send her a really nice box. It may take a while to do, but I'd like to do that. The Deep Laker, I get my filament from a lot of different places, not just one place. I haven't even had a chance to print. I've done some Polymaker PLA. That was hence the Polyterra. I got a lot of printed solid stuff. Can't wait to get back into Matter Hackers again as well. So I've got a few to print, a few to do here. I'm trying to think through all my favorite models, the trinkety fun things to send off to this person. So you're going to see a lot of reprints from me over the course of the next week or two as I think through, oh, that would be really cool to send off. I mean, this person would probably get a kick out of it. I had some metal multicolor filament. Yes, the Deep Laker. I'm coming back to that. Matter Hackers sent a gold silver filament that's got that kind of sheen, and I'm definitely going to be using that. I want to print some Republic credits in that, which will be great. It won't exactly be like the Gerpel. I thought I had Gerpel back here. I swear I had a Gerpel. Really? I guess this is the only Gerpel I have at this point. This is the gold purple. So I'll be doing, unfortunately I have no more of the gold purple. This regal color. I've printed all the way, I've printed it all. I didn't do a full-on Vader figure in the Gerpel though, because I didn't have the new model. But I'm definitely going to be trying the new Vader model with that. All right, let's change our Arabesh. You know what? We're Moss up. You've gifted the most amount of subs tonight, so you get... There you go, Moss Up. There you go. Moss Up, you're now in the Arabesh, Moss Up. You love that? Where'd you get... Oh, it's a Matter Hackers. Feel free to tag them on Twitter and say that you found out about it from me. Matter Hackers Quantum Filament. Matter Hackers. No, hang on, dude. If you love that, give me a second. Let me grab an actual print. I grabbed a couple of prints. So there you go, Moss Up. You are now Orabeshed. We're gonna make this a new thing. The top sub gifter of the night gets their name in Orabesh in the stream. You are the top sub gifter of the night. So your name is in lights. So like here's an example. There's I call it Gurple, like a gold purple. This is a... so if you use Twitter, definitely tag both of us. That's very helpful, because then they know, oh, they found out about it through Chris. So this is an articulated Stormtrooper figure. Right, the gold purple. I could do this one in the filament, because the silk type of filament, the silks, they tend to be fragile, very brittle. And so I couldn't do the original Vader, because the original Vader model it required a snap, and it would not have worked well. But the new Vader model doesn't require a snap, so I feel better about that. But like here's a one that I did at a lower temperature, so it's got more of a matte finish. I call it Gurple. I want Matter Hackers to call it Gurple too. But anyway, this is the Wexter Stormtrooper model here. Yeah, those are wild. Those are so I'm going to be doing a couple of those easily for the gift box. So you're going to see, even the problem is that their favorite color is purple, and I really don't have many other purple filaments. So I don't want to send the only ones that I have, because like otherwise I don't have them, and I don't have anything to replace it with in terms of those same colors. But Mossa, you don't have to thank me. Thank you for the support, and thank you so much for redeeming the stretch, big fan. It's not pulled, American Chris Hansen. I love you, but it's not pulled. It's Gurple. Gurple sounds so much more memorable than pulled. Gurple. Who would not want Gurple? In fact, I even have some Gurple, some of the last ones that I printed in the Gurple were the bits. So like when you cheer bits. So some of them, you might get the golden bit. This was printed in the same filament, glued together. The lights behind me, by the way, I think I need to, next go around, they definitely need to be recharged. Hey, Wadsy!
Wadsy1 just resubscribed for 5 months.
Wadsy, I appreciate that. Thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Prime is a big thing for creators, for subscribing. So the fact that you use that Prime subscription on me is great. Even if you don't use it on me, use it on someone. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, use your Prime sub on one creator. Thank you for letting that be me. And thank you for subscribing for 5 months in a row. Seriously, I appreciate the support.
Thank you for subscribing. I knew you could do it.
Emperor Palpatine also appreciates it immensely. Now, Grand Admiral Quack says, as opposed to Grand Admiral Thrawn, says, I don't know about others, but sometimes I can watch the 3D printer and just zone out and enjoy the machinery making magic. You know, Grand Admiral Quack, I don't disagree. A lot of people feel the same way. It's fun to watch, something basically appear out of nothing. And, of course, watching it over time. Hence the reason to do live streams, right? We do live streams, and then you're seeing this thing just get assembled, as it were. So happy to provide that little gateway, Grand Admiral Quack. Have I seen those How It's Made shows? I loved it when I was younger. You know, I probably used to watch them. I haven't watched them so much anymore. I'm sure they still exist and probably better than anything that we had growing up. X-Files says, I think he's printing again. He made us believe he's more than just friends. I like the color. Is it yellow or green? Colorblind. Oh, it is more yellow. It's definitely more yellow. It's like a highlighter. The easiest way to explain just how bright a yellow this is. It's not a canary yellow. It is definitely like a highlighter yellow. It is yellow. 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 There's a bunch of good ones on YT, How It's Made. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, YouTube's a treasure trove. Good description of highlighter yellow because it's spot on. I'm telling you, dude, it's like if the camera does not translate this well, because you know there's different color temperature in the camera stuff, but this is if you wanted to picture it in real life, it even if the camera doesn't translate it, it is definitely highlighter yellow. So it's somewhere in between yellow and green. So it's more like a yin or it's a grello. Does that work? It's a grello. Grello. I love making up words. It's one of my favorite. Samsung yellow. P yellow. Samsung. Oh, I have been one other. By the way, Lestat, here's an update on that. One other person has come to that thread where two of us have had same issues. The error, warning camera error, as well as the yellow tint on the selfie. And the other guy, his is far gone. He has to reset it and then it works. It stops working. So I believe that if I were to progress with my current unit, it would get to that point. And I don't want it to get to that point before a replacement. But another person has chimed in on the thread. Another person now has that issue, which leads me to believe that it's hardware combined with software. I could be wrong, but at least 3 people now that we know of, 3 if not 4. And even if it was like a blip, this yellow cast over the selfie cam. Even if it was something, you can correct it by wiping the cache, or you can correct it by doing the reset, or you can correct it by... Here. Oh, give me a moment. I don't want it to get temporarily fixed, only to find out 5 months later that it crops up again, especially because this other guy who has an issue, his is just way worse, way worse. I'm like, dude, I want to get this settled. I just can't figure out why Samsung doesn't do this as a norm. I really don't. And I'm definitely never going to be a part. I mean, I would if I could, but I'm definitely probably never going to be invited to be an ambassador or anything like that, because they're like, no, he wasn't good. PR-wise, he was not good. But I was honest. In that way, I'm a user advocate. Sorry, what I'm doing here, I'm pulling off the plastic things on the tablet that I hadn't pulled off yet. No worries, Rise of the Podcast. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks again for your raid last night, too. I appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging, Star Warsing and geeking out and talking about everything that we've talked about tonight. Really appreciate it. I'm going to have to take off the other ones after the show. 3 stretches. I did stretch, didn't I? Okay, here's the second one then. Because I did another one. Posture check. Okay, I'm sitting up. All right, so now I owe you 1 posture check and a stretch. I can't posture check more than 1 at a time, because otherwise it won't work, because I'll already be postured. Thank you, Fix'em Dude, for reminding me. As I mentioned, Fix'em Dude, one of the better mods that I've ever had a chance over my 20 years of creating content. One of the better mods that I've ever had the pleasure of connecting with. I've known a lot of mods in my life. Like, a lot. More than average, I feel. See, I try to do more than what the others do with their 3D printing. I have the 3D printing going, but I also interact and chat. Some of the 3D printing people don't do that. Now I've opened my Black Series for the day. I've opened my Vintage collection for the day. I hesitate to open more than one. I want to spread the love. If I open up all my Star Wars figures in one day, then I don't spread it out. I'd rather spread it out than have to clean up the mess or organize it for the next day. You're wondering, can vegans eat seafood? Sustainable. We can eat seaweed. Seaweed is fine, but like a animal, for lack of a better word, like anything that might have like a central nervous system is usually the cutoff point. Seaweed, okay. Shrimp, not so much. Anything that poops is basically off the menu. That's that's the easiest way to say it. Wow, you must have had some bad mods in the past. I can't think of, honestly, I've been very lucky. I don't think I've had very many, if any, mods that turned out to be maybe not great choices. The thing about mods you got to be aware of is some of them, and I'm glad that we don't have that issue here, some of them power trip. Some mods do power trip. It's true. Like big time power trip. And they draw very hard lines, very strong lines. And I can say that right now we do not have any power tripping mods. Those are always very delicate to handle. Because, you can inevitably, trip them inadvertently. So I generally, when it comes to modding, I just like, all right, well, I'm just here to do this. And I just kind of put the rest of it in the mod's hands. I'm like, well, if that's what you think. I'm probably way more lenient, I'll say, than I need to be. I am very, extremely lenient. There are some people who just don't, no tolerance. Like, I feel like, trust me, I've put up with a lot that have come in from people that in other channels would have been banned instantly. And I've given people latitude. I really have. What's the one thing Jedi really wants to eat, but you and Diana are like, no. Anything sweet, anything snacky, I mean, for sure. Like, it happens all the time. And I would just as soon kind of scale back, like, nah, let's not eat everything, right? Have a little bit, moderate, right? The thing is for someone to understand food, they have to respect it. And usually to respect it, you can't eat it 24/7. You can't have food lying around everywhere, anywhere, beyond the kitchen table. That's typically, especially for someone who doesn't understand what calories in means. It's food. They enjoy eating it. Great. I understand, hey, every kid loves candy. But you can't live on candy alone. You cannot. You cannot live on sugar alone. If 90% of your diet is sugar, it's garbage. If 90% of your diet is refined carbs, it's garbage. So I do my best that when I know, hey, we need to get more bananas, or we need to get more apples, or can keep your eye out for this, that, or the other thing. Things that aren't garbage. Those are the things that I try to be mindful of. Because otherwise she's not going to get the nutrition she needs, and she'll be malnourished, even with vitamins. So I tried to, balance out like the fun things that she's eating, because I can't pay attention to everything that she puts in her mouth. I can't. And it's very clear when she's put too much into her mouth on any given, over the course of a period of time. So, like the cereal, for example. Here's an example in terms of, things that you enjoy to eat. Jedi, she loves sweets. She's motivated by food. Like this, that's her motivation. I can just tell you, she's motivated by food. She wants food, which I get. I totally get it. It's not that she's hungry. She just enjoys the flavor, because she's human, right? We enjoy these wonderful flavors. But like the cereal, instead of giving her this giant bowl on Saturday, here's a cup. Here's a reasonable cup, no milk. This is it. So she gets to enjoy it. She gets to enjoy the flavor. She's something to look forward to. But it's not something that's just copious amounts that her body just can't handle and just can't process. Because if you're just snacking on things all day long without any kind of discipline, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? See, I was unfortunate, and I appreciate the fact that my parents fed us, but we did not have any kind of guidance or better understanding of what these things meant, what food meant. We never went hungry, and I'll say that. Some families went hungry. I get that. I totally understand that. So you got to eat what you can, whenever you can, however you can. I totally get that. We are very lucky in the sense that we are not starving here. I was very lucky to have grown up not starving. So I don't have that fear that rules over every decision I make in relation to food for myself or anybody around me. So when I see that Jedi wants a snacky food, I'm like, well, what else have you eaten today? Have you received the nutrition you need? Not just vitamin, but are you getting sustenance? Or is it just garbage, right? Is it refined grains? Is it refined pasta? Is it just, is it sugar? What is it? And trying to balance that with things that she wants too, right? Like, well, it's not gonna be problematic, right? She has a little bit of this, a little bit of that. She gets fruits, fine. I do my best, but because it's not that things aren't always, accessible is the wrong word, but readily available, at least at decent prices. Finding things where trust me, the child is not starving at all. It's just never going to happen. It's not a concern at all. Type 2 diabetes is what happens, unfortunately. Yeah, blue optics, and that I would want to try to avoid that at every possibility. Her teeth have been fine so far, Krusty. Like, she as much, I know she eats sugar and I know she eats sweets. It's kids. I mean, it's gonna happen, right? So I'm not gonna sit there. No, you can't have. So part of being vegan has been great because it limits the possibility of all these things that would otherwise be easily accessible. All the candy. No, can't eat it. It's not vegan, so it takes it off the table. It makes it easy to say no. She may not understand that, and I will say that in the longer stretch, it'll make a lot more sense because we're helping teach her the value of this is what, hey, it's a food, but it's got so many calories, and your body's only so big and it can only process so many calories. And because we don't necessarily do traditional meals around here, it makes it that much more important to measure those things out for her. You can't give the child so much because she's just like me. She will just keep eating. If you put the food in front of her, she will eat it. And if she eats too much, what happens? Tell me, people, what happens when you eat too much? Tell me. I can tell you what happens with me. Sorry, you can see the zoom in there. I can tell you what happens with me when I eat too much. I have to watch it. And because she's half me, she's got to watch what she eats. But because she's 7 years old, she can't watch what she eats, which makes it that much more important that I watch or try to keep an eye on what it is that we're bringing in and what it is she might be eating on a regular basis. But I don't control everything, so I have to rely on keeping keeping a balance. That's the easiest way to say it. She doesn't really go over to friends' houses. Big fan, so that's not really a concern. They should bring back the food pyramid. I don't know if the food pyramid's really the right approach. I think moderation is it's okay to lean on, but you can't just say, oh, well, you can have a candy bar in moderation. Like, what does that mean? Like, are you not better off eating food like apples and bananas or, melon or, some kind of fresh thing if that thing is in stock? But the problem is that even if when it comes in stock, is that when you drown the fruit or vegetable in like a sauce or a sweet or something else or a dip or some kind of glaze, you're basically not eliminating the value of the nutrition, but you're adding calories, which is the problem, especially for a child. 7, they do grow fast. No doubt they do. Corey, man, your daughter's 7 as well. Nice. Eat veggies and fruit when you can instead of your sugars. That's true, and I do my best. Like Jedi will say, oh, I would like to get apples, so I keep my eye out for apples. I just don't like getting foods that are good foods, like onions. Like I picked up like 2 bags of like four onions, like each bag the other day. So I know like I can find vegetables. I just don't want those vegetables to go bad because nobody eats them, right, when they go bad. That upsets me. I don't like buying food that goes to waste. It's not as convenient, let's say. It may not need preparation, but it's still something that adds up. So we're caught between the balance of, hey, I understand that I need, this many calories a day, and so I know I can afford, this much sauce or this much sweetness or this much whatever. Jedi doesn't get that. She doesn't understand. Like, well, it's food. It's good. It's yummy. I'm going to eat it. Like, she's going to eat whatever she's served, which makes it that much more important that she's only served so much, right? Like, beyond, like, less than the average American portion. The average American portion is gigantic. Like, it's huge. Like, dude, she's not starving. That's one of the reasons we don't really go out to eat, not just because of the cost, but because there's no control. There's no control. Like, oh my God, holy cow, dude, you're feeding an army. Like, I don't want to order something for her. You're feeding an army, dude. She's not starving. Because it adds up, and there's no moderation in that. Rice is filler. Spuds, I would say, potato has got far more vitamins and minerals than rice. No, me 3. Blue Optic says, you're doing good. Grew up similar to you. Plenty of food, but poor balance of it. And now I'm type 2 because I didn't start correcting my diet until my 30s. Blue Optics, this is what I'm saying. And to teach her the respect that she needs to have with food, this relationship with food is going to be that much more critical because there's so much choice. We go to the grocery store and there's like a billion things. I'm like, dude, we got to concentrate on the things that you need, the things that we need. And yeah, we'll have fun. Cereal Saturdays. You've seen her come in here. Here's my little cup. It's where we go beyond that I get a little nervous, and I don't like entertaining it apart from very special occasions. I don't want to grab ice cream until it's a special occasion. I don't want to grab, something that's sugary until it's a special occasion. I don't want her to get a sweet because a stranger thinks, oh, it's just a candy bar. It's none, but you don't understand. It's additive, dude. You don't have to be responsible for her health. That's my responsibility. I got to pay attention to that. Because if the parent isn't paying attention to what she puts in her mouth, you ain't doing your job. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I'm going to stand on my, pedestal and say, dude, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to protect her. And part of that is making sure, not that she eats, but she gets what she needs. She gets her vitamins. That she may not be, like, full. I mean, in the sense that her belly's going to, grow. But that she's not snacking all the time. And that she's not, like, there's food here and there's food there and there's food everywhere. And there's some amount of discipline that's laid down. Because otherwise, guess what happens? If you don't have discipline with food, what happens? You tell me. What happens? If you don't have discipline, if you don't have a regiment, if you don't have structure around this activity, What happens? You tell me. I know the answer. I already know the answer because I've lived it. And I continue to live it. The thing is I'm an adult. I can set my own patterns. I'm an adult and I understand numbers. And I'm an adult and I can control. I'm an adult and I have self-control. Exactly. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. That's precisely what happens. That's it. In a sound effect, that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't lay down that foundation. It's sloppy. That's what happens. Can't blame the child. Cannot blame the child. Someone got to be responsible. Someone got to be responsible. Sandwich is not a good idea. Bread is filler. Bread is filler. Grains in many ways are filler. Cereal is filler. Cereal is mostly a grain. So it's a filler. Popcorn, filler. Popcorn's a snack. Popcorn's not a meal. I save room. At the end of the day, I'm like, I know my calories in. I know what I've eaten. I know where I've gotten everything that I needed. I can get to the end of the day, I can have popcorn. That popcorn doesn't have anything but salt on it. That's where I've gotten. Like, yeah, it's okay. But I'm an adult, and I can make those decisions. Jedi can't. If Jedi had access to popcorn 24/7, what do you think she's going to eat? If she had popcorn made with oil, what do you think she's going to eat? What do you think she's going to appreciate? If you had a choice between popcorn, air pop popcorn, or oil-drenched popcorn, which would you choose? Oil, of course, it tastes better. Oil, naturally, it tastes better. Oh, it's just a little bit. No. You don't understand. Oil is very calorie dense. If we were just, we'd be like treating her like cattle if all we fed her was oil-drenched popcorn constantly and having it constantly available to her. Constantly, all the time, everywhere. No limitation. Oh, it's a movie. I'm going to eat popcorn. I get you. I feel you. It's fun. But man, can't do it. Especially for a bite. You're teaching her disrespect for food. You're teaching her to eat anything all the time, no matter what, because it tastes good. That's just your spell. It's disastrous. That's the word for it. It's irresponsible. It's disastrous. And she'll pay the price. I won't pay the price. She'll pay the price. Type 2 diabetes. Weight issues. Weight problems. That she'll have to worry about. That she'll pay the price for. Self-image issues. Because she sees, the way society projects the norms of weight and skinniness, etc. She'll pay the price. Which is why I've been trying to instill in her just understanding. You can't just eat food whenever, whatever, however you want, just because you like it. And no, you don't understand. You've got a certain amount of calories that you can eat on a daily basis. If you go beyond that, your body can't. It's science. What do you want me to do? Science. That's science. You can argue with science. Don't argue with me. Argue with science. And she doesn't understand that as a 7-year-old. But the older she gets, the more she's going to understand just what discipline means. What that kind of structure means. What knowing your limitations are and what that means. How that spells her success. Because right now, if she were to just be able to eat anything, whenever, however, no structure, failure. It's a recipe for failure. It's a recipe for disaster. Like, you're setting her up for never understanding the how to accommodate these things. You're grazing at that point. Just have a little bit here, a little bit there. Just eat all the time. Doesn't matter. It's food. I'm eating food. I'm full. I want to eat more. Yes, she's already 7. Time flies. Do we eat smart food popcorn? No. The smart food stuff we don't necessarily buy. What? Huh? Phone. Fix him, dude. Feels like Aston and you're possessed. Oh, yeah, no, I get it. eBay. I'm not gonna look at that search. I don't know. Oh, Ryan got a new printer. Awesome. Oh, there's a toy show on March 11th. I did not know that. Cool. Thank you for pointing that out. Skinny Pop's okay. I mean, Air Pop popcorn is ultimately the best. Just sprinkle some salt on it. You're good. Any advice on how to kick soda? I get bored with water. Well, Blue Optics, soda water, honestly, and you may not think it tastes good initially, but the more you drink it, the more you get used to it. It's good stuff. It gives you the carbonated kick, and you're good. I kicked soda 20 years ago, and I've had soda every so often, here, there, and intermittently. But night death? No, I don't think so. My blood work argues with you. My science argues with you. Sorry, I have the numbers. Sorry, I have the stats, night death. I'm not going to take advice from you. I'm going to take advice from my blood tests. Thank you very much. Flavored soda water. It's good stuff, Subsector. Any brand? I don't know. I just get the cheapest, whatever's on sale. I like soda water. I like club soda. It's good stuff. My parents moved the family to the United States when I was 8. I got the first cavity in my life within 2 years of the move. Gee, I wonder why, Bulbous Lalsor. I wonder why. No problem, Blue Optics. No problem. Happy to help. It's not, you got to make decisions for yourself. But, of course, as kids, you got to be parents. You got to be responsible. If you're not going to be responsible, who is? You can't expect a child to be responsible for themselves. You can't. It's just not possible. It's not practical. Hey, you got to make your own choices. Big fan, if you're an adult, you can make your own choices. I'm not going to say otherwise. Make your own choices. What do I think about a war? The biggest nuke reactor is on fire and might blow. Night Death, we don't really cover a lot of that here. There's a little trigger for you. I tend to steer from that, if only because you tilt into controversy and negativity. And I'd rather not, because I'm far from an expert in geopolitical discussions. I have my feelings. I have my beliefs. The only wars that I like are Star Wars. I can't think of too many other people who would disagree with that, apart from not Star Wars fans. But I tend not to cover those types of current events, personally. You can't. I mean, there are plenty of other people who do that, for sure. There are absolutely plenty of other people who do that. We love Star Wars. That's where wars begin and end. Hypothetically, let's say a doctor. Okay, a big fan. I think we've played it out. I've said everything I want. Someone brought up the topic. So I can't remember who. I talked about it. I feel I've talked about everything I need to talk about. I feel I've said everything. I don't want to. Sometimes I'm like, this is the thing I want to talk about right now. Welcome to Twitch. This is how some of us we get on a topic. I'm like, let's talk about this. Not no good. He tweeted. I retweeted, and I appreciate it. Chris is a closeted The Expanse. I am not a closeted The Expanse fan. I am going to watch Picard today, though. Missed the desk there. That's the thing I'm going to watch after the broadcast. I'm going to clean up. Although I'm not gonna try. You know what the funny thing? What I should do? Juices they taste good, great juices. The problem is your body can't necessarily handle it. It's true. I've only watched 2 episodes of Picard. Oh, the first series? Well, they're on to the second series now. Do I do B12 and other supplements? Yes. At least for Jedi, certainly. And I have a multivitamin as well. Any other spoof movies of Star Wars besides Spaceballs, Family Guy, and Robot Chicken worth watching? Those are the big ones, Moss-Up. You may have a challenge finding anything beyond that. Oh my god, Picard came out today. I totally forgot. Why am I watching Chris and not Picard? Dude, I agree. Subsector, why are you watching me? Never, ever, don't ever choose me. I'm saying this to everybody, all you subs, all you followers. Do not ever put me over Star Wars or a new Star Trek episode or a new episode of your favorite show. Don't. I mean, I know the new episode's going to be there after the fact and I'm just live, but, like, come on. I feel you. Whatever your fandom is, like, just, that's a priority. I feel that. Like, if I had a choice in my flow, huh? No, it's fine. It gets warm in here, dude. What have you been up to? Just ate dinner? Okay, well then you know what it is. Well, you already know what it is. I don't know, you tell me. I did watch Discovery. No, not this week's episode. I haven't had a chance to... I was watching Vikings last night. You don't like the new Star Trek? Think they missed a beat by not making Captain the Star? It was good. It's good. It's been great. Thank you, big fan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hang on just a second. Ooh, what's this? What's this? I may have a vintage collection tip. Ooh, I haven't received that one yet. Ooh. TNG is the best? I'm going to disagree with you there, Night Death. I was a fan of Voyager was good. Deep Space Nine, I think, was my jam, though. Deep Space Nine. I don't know why. I was never really into soap operas, but it was probably the most soap opera-esque. Did the Netflix catalog lose Marvel shows like Punisher? Yes. I think all that moved to Disney Plus, if not now, but it is soon. Which is interesting, because when I think Disney Plus, I don't think Jessica Jones. And I still have to watch season 2 of Jessica Jones. I saw Luke Cage, of course, in Jessica Jones and Defenders. Never watched Iron Fist because a lot of people kind of push back on it. You're a huge fan of TNG and Voyager, but now my favorite is Discovery. It's good. I'm the same way, Subsector. I'm the exact same way. Discovery is so good. It's so good. It's good stuff, dude. It's so good. It's so good. It's delicious. Yes, I described Star Trek Discovery as delicious. You put off watching season 2 of Punisher because I thought I had forever to watch it. Now forever's gone. No. It should be on Disney Plus. How could you not have Disney Plus? You've got to have Disney Plus, dude. How could you live without the Star Wars shows? Seriously, I would not be able to function. Chris, do you ever do Subservient? Chris, yes. You know, honestly, the funny thing is, it's funny that you remember that Blue Optics. It's been eons since doing that. Star Trek Discovery just got a new comic book by IDW. Nice. We don't have comic shops around here, Dark Toilerd. Sucks. Sucks to be us. Seriously, it sucks. Download all the Star Wars films. Well, let's not talk about anything illegal here, Night Death. You can keep that to yourself. We're all about like this, the up and up here. I am not going to encourage illicit behavior at all, nor will I entertain it. So I don't do a lot of Subservient, Chris. I'm not sure if we could work it in to channel redemptions may get a little old fast. Cheers are more like for announcements. Tips, possibly. Tips might possibly elicit a subservient Chris. Although a lot of people don't necessarily leave tips, so it doesn't happen like this constant reinforcing. You'll get Disney Plus for the first time after Obi-Wan is watchable in one sitting. Yes, Bulba. Can I just call you Bulba? Can we be on a first part of a username basis? Can we? Really did not know they came out with a comic. Yeah, I'm sure they came out with one. I don't know if you remember, it's Andrew Epperson. I do remember Andrew Epperson. I do, actually. I do know you, Blue Optics. Wow, okay, so I've got the name association. I helped you with the wheelchair like a decade ago, and I just found your Twitch. That's right, Vlogger Fair, yeah. Wasn't it Vlogger Fair? No, was it? No. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. Did we help fund? Oh God, it's been so long. I know the name, but I know the name, dude. Of course I remember that name. I remember the name, but the context around. Yeah, I'm blanking. Okay, haven't watched any of the new stuff of Star Wars. Well, Night Death, you are missing out on a lot. So Blue Optics. Oh, okay. So it was a subservient, Chris. Blue Optics says. So we used to do this thing back in the Ustream days where we raised money by me. Like people would basically cheer. Like, well, in context, right? They would tip, right? They'd send like a donation, and then I would do something based upon them saying, okay, you got to do this or you got to do that. And that was a great way of raising money. Recently, Blue Optics, over the past few months, Barnacles and I got together and we raised, how much was it? God, I can't even tell you. I lost track, but we raised a healthy amount of money for a fellow streamer who lost his I'm blanking. Gimpy God is his handle, but his particular state is I'm blanking on it. Paraplegic, and he lost his house to a fire, and we ended up coming together and we raised, Barnacles and I couldn't even tell you how much, but to try to get his bed replaced, to get his car replaced. Gimpy God is his name. But we did that a few months ago, so that's probably the most recent effort that I took part in terms of raising awareness and funds for someone who needed that kind of awareness. Night S says, just to let you know, I watch you for a long time, even your YouTube days from the UK. Well, I'm here every night on Twitch, Night Death and Blue Optics, every night. Twitch. You never really know what I'm going to go off on. You get me off on a topic that I feel I have something to say, and I will say it. It's my bully pulpit. I will say it. So sad. Can't imagine, but that's amazing. Yeah, Gimpy got, he was literally streaming Blue Optics. He was streaming at the time. Oh, hang on. Andrew Epperson. There was another guy who streamed too. What was his handle? What was his name? I can almost see him. God, he did. Andrew, I can see his name. God, I can see it. I can see his name. I know it's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh God, it's been so long. We've been at it. Andrew, you and I have been at this for a long time, have we not? And it's great to see you again, by the way. Thank you for providing context. How am I able to juggle every night? It's a routine. Like, the more you get into a routine, like, it becomes easier when you find patterns to fall into, right? So I have my work. I wake up in the morning. I make sure I hit my calendar. I make sure I take care of my tasks. I make sure I do everything I need to do. I make sure I'm present for everything I need to be present for. Take care of my meetings. Take care of my responsibilities. Take care of extraneous tasks. Take care of errands. Take care of management. Take care of all those things. Then 5 o'clock rolls around. I get a little bit of a reprieve, but I still have to prepare. Then when 6 o'clock happens, then I go into the routine of, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this to make sure I'm prepared for 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock happens, and I have a chance to connect with people. I connect with people throughout the day. All of it's work related. This is the only time that, I don't mean this in a bad way. I know a lot of you vicariously. I wouldn't say that you're all my friends. I'm not going to go that far because I feel that's disrespectful to those who have friends. Because I believe you're there for me as much as I'm here for you at this time slot. But we may not know each other on a first name basis. I may not help you with a move, right? You may not be able to count on me where you may be able to count on a friend to listen or to help you through a problem, right? But this time is very it's cathartic for me because it gives me a chance to express myself, and sometimes what I express resonates with people who are listening. Sometimes what I express may not be your jam, but the thing is, every night it's different. It's a chance for me to talk. It's a chance for me to get things off my chest. It's a chance for me to vent about a tech issue that I might be having, right? Or work through a little project and have something to show for it at the end of the night and feeling productive. So, it's kind of a work-life balance. Today, you may be concerned, like, oh my God, are you spending enough time with your daughter? Well, what are you talking about? She's in and out all the time. 1, 2, sometimes she runs errands with me like she did today. 3, today I make it a point to try to, when I have a chance to schedule it within the context of my full-time job, which that's like during the day, during the weekday, that is that is the priority, because if I do not show up, I do not have a job, and if I do not have a job, bills do not get paid. Bills do not get paid, we've got a bigger problem. So that's my priority. That's the thing I have to concentrate on. So trying to take time to do some kind of a brief activity with her, and right now it's really wanting to help her work through certain words that she's struggling with. So spend plenty of time with her while still working. Have plenty of time with her even when I'm also spending time doing other things that I might enjoy. Things that when she sees me doing this, she might hear me doing this, she learns how to do the same thing. I'm not saying that she's nowhere near an apprentice. At some point she might be, to be able to pick up these skills, to understand how to stage a live production, how to produce something, how to communicate with people using a camera, how to put something together that might be enjoyable for other people. To have her see that vicariously. I feel that me doing this, she sees me on a tablet, right? Or a computer, right? And she sees me doing things, but it's email doesn't mean anything to her. Sitting in a meeting for work doesn't necessarily mean anything to her. But seeing me talk to other people like this in a very straightforward, impromptu fashion, I think does have context for her. And I think it does mean something for her to see. It means something because she sees that, and if she's able to dovetail her own interests and her own passions and her own ideas around those skill sets, then I feel even doing this as doing Twitch, doing a live stream, isn't just messing around. Like, yeah, I mean, it's great. I get to connect with people. It's the cathartic nature of it. I get a chance to, connect with, community, like-minded people. I get a chance to communicate and connect with others, during the course of the average evening. That value is that she sees it happen. She doesn't just read about it. She doesn't just watch someone else doing it. She sees me doing it. And because she's able to see me doing it, she's able to pick up on how to do something or better understand how to do something. So yeah, in terms of, bringing her into that fold, I feel that me even doing this is valuable for her. Maybe not when she's paying, because she can't pay attention like all the time. But like when she sees it, she better understands it. She has context for it. And when she's old enough, she'll be able to do it because she saw me do it. She'll have greater confidence in herself in being able to do it because she's seen me do it. or she's seen others do it, but also sees it close to home. So that, I think it will go a long way in terms of her confidence in being able to try something and put herself out there. Subsector 3D says, that's true. My kids picked up a lot from me working with tech, or in tech. It's true. You get it vicariously. So even farting around with because let's face it, I'm farting around with a 3D printer. This is not important. What I'm doing here on this 3D printer, not important. It's irrelevant. It's just, it's a 3D printed Darth Vader that I'm trying to dial in, right? So she'll see it, and she may not be interested in it now, but as she gets older, maybe she wants to, you know, like, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. Well, let's work through it together. Let's figure out how to do it together, so that she can capture that moment, right? And it's a learning opportunity. So I feel streaming is as much a learning opportunity for her as it is cathartic for me. Why not kill two birds with one stone? Why not? I don't know what she's going to get into. All I know is that everything I want to expose her to is going to go well beyond everything that marketing wants to expose her to. Marketing has done a great job exposing her to the things that marketing believes she needs to be exposed to, because she's female. She identifies as female. You know, she's a girl. She'll grow into a woman, right? So the marketing has already got her hooks in her. So everything I'm trying to do is counter to that narrative, right? Exposing her to everything gender neutral. 3D printing is gender neutral. Tech is gender neutral. Like these opportunities, you know, are gender neutral. They're not geared towards any one thing or another. They're gender neutral. So I want to try to go. I feel I have to go overboard with that because of the messaging she gets, you know, everywhere else. 3D printer is fun now. After the future 3D printing everything, even your own computer. I'm not sure I quite understand that, Nideth. That's good. The world of work will be digital and remote. It will, Nideth, but all the more reason to have discipline. All the more reason to have structure. All the more reason to be regimented. And to know that you've got certain goals that you need to accomplish. The thing about being able to manage your own time, it takes self-confidence, it takes self-reliance, it takes accountability, it takes responsibility. No one tells me what I need to be doing at any given moment. Nobody on this planet tells me. What I do know is that I have to do certain things. If I do not do this, then I will have fallen short on my responsibilities. If I do not do something else, you know, happens. Those are consequences to my actions or inactions. And I take those things very seriously. And I do my best to balance those things. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to take on a full-time job and make sure the family has everything it needs, financially or otherwise. On top of that, being able to balance that with something that gives me the ability to express myself at this determined time, this determined path, on a daily basis, because it was easiest to manage that into the workflow, because otherwise it would have been a challenge. Like that's the problem with vlogging, is there was too much responsibility on my shoulders, and it fell apart. Vlogging is harder than streaming. Streaming is great. I love streaming, but I've always been more of a live streamer. Subsector 3D, who's in the tech industry, says that's how she was raised. My dad insisted I need to know how to change a tire and check oil, plus many other things. Honestly, that's probably a father way of doing things. The father way of doing things is not the mother way of doing things. And neither is wrong. Neither is inherently wrong. But if you don't counterbalance a father with one approach with the other, it's disastrous. You can't expect a mother to act like a father, nor should you expect a father to act like a mother, because we have different ways of approaching things. And that kind of complementary skill set actually enables the child to do better in life, because they have that balance. In whatever those skills happen to be, whatever the approach happens to be, they realize there's not just one way of doing something, unless, of course, there is just one way of doing something, right? There's certain ways that, no, this is the way. This is the way. But there are many other things that you could better be able to stage the success for a child when there is that balance of one part with another. Like if you just expose to one side, I don't think you've got a good approach, because then they're going to be limited. as opposed to having a balance of two ways of looking at something, two ways of approaching something, and finding their way in the middle, and finding their own path, and finding their own inclinations, right? So, I sew. No one ever really taught me how to sew, though. I sew. I can't say I cook, but I definitely prepare food. I can prepare food, generally speaking. I don't really enjoy it. I'll do what I need to do to get something done and get something prepared to the best of its state, right? Like, okay, what's the best thing that I could possibly make? How to best prepare this so that it's done well. But I don't think anyone ever taught me how to do that either. I never bothered to learn. I never really had, I was never interested in doing it. To me, it's a task, right? Okay, what I got to do? I got to do this. What's the best way to do it? Even with YouTube these days, like, you can go to YouTube and you can learn anything. Anything. YouTube's got everything. It's incredible. Like, where I would have been as a kid, like younger, like where I would have been if I had YouTube. God, it's dangerous. I would be dangerous at this point. You wouldn't want to see me if I grew up on YouTube. I help people grow up on YouTube, but okay. People are funny. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So tonight. Oh, so many good people to raid. So many good people, including Ceniup76 is streaming. Shannon Srona58 is also streaming. Ms. Bricks is also streaming. Ravavir is also streaming. The Free Heathen streaming. AZ Pinoy. Sith Lord Brit is streaming. Sith Lord Brit! Repcord is streaming there. Kogas is also streaming. So he is the person we're going to raid. And the reason why I love Brit, and like I said, if you're into 3D printing, go tune into Brit right now, or the Free Heathen. Sith Lord Brit is interviewing or talking with Pooch from Repcord, right? And we had him on like weeks ago, if not months ago at this point. Sith Lord Brit, absolutely worth tuning into. Kogas, though, I want to raid him for two reasons. One, he just raided us, brought in a few more Star Wars people in our community. Plus, two, tomorrow I'm going to come back and give away the SOTOR Special Edition box and what have you. Do I think in the future I'll be able to download a new CPU and print your own? Possibly. I don't know. No, I hear you, Krusty, but Kogas just raided us, and tomorrow we're setting the stage for the giveaway, and I'm going to be playing SOTOR for the first time. And I know they both do SOTOR, but Kogas just raided us, so I want to return that favor. I don't like that lingering over my head, if you will. Not my thing. So it's a big stage for tomorrow. Tomorrow we got the giveaway. Wait, can I raid Kogas? I think we tried yesterday, did we not? And then it was it didn't work. Something like that. We are gonna raid Kogas. Kogi, I think is what he said we can call him. I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully, at some point playing Star Wars The Old Republic. I don't know how it's gonna work. I gotta figure it out. More work for me. Yay! More work. It's what I love. I love just doing more things that I have to figure out. I create all these problems for myself. We will be giving away the Star Wars Old Republic box, assuming I can get Star Wars The Old Republic working on the computer. I love you. I appreciate you, but at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And may the Force be with you always. Moss Up, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. No problem, Subsector. You're printing a Romulan Warbird. I hope you're drinking Romulan ale, which is illegal here. You can't do that in the state of Washington. No Romulan ale at all. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my rants and raves. Thank you for hanging out. Did I say it already? I'll say it again. I love you. I appreciate you. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And may the Force be with you always. I'm shaking my what is this? Is a sand person. My Tusken Raider, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna Tusken Raid. Thank you, Blue Optics. It's great to see you again, Andrew. I am here every night at 6 p.m. Pacific. Feel free to join me and the rest of the community. We're raiding someone known as Kogas. Here we go. Tusken raiding in 3. He's a SOTOR gamer. Star Wars: The Old Republic. 3, 2, 1. Oh crap! No, wait. Oh, I misfired. We're not raiding. Twitch is weird. Twitch does things. Okay, now we gotta do the whole thing all over again. Just pretend it didn't get awkward at the end. If you misclick something mid-raid, it chokes. So, oh, never mind, I did it. Did it go through? Now it went through. All right, here we go. Kogas. Kogi. Here we go. Can we hear him? Say something so I can hear you, Kogi. There we go. There we go. Tusken Raid. There we go. Ah!